This is the MLW Radio Network.
Welcome, everybody, to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I am your tour guide, Josh Shernoff, and he is the star of the show, the Blue Meanie. Meanie, how in the hell are you?
I'm doing good, man. Just we've been doing a lot of work on the new studio and got some new lighting. Working with that, seeing how that works. Trying to improve the overall experience of Mind of the Meanie. I know we updated our sound quality, so now for our fine folks over on Patreon. Just trying to, give them something to look at.
Yeah, they should be. We got a nice video here. Yeah, your place looks awesome. My place is still empty and bare. But hey, I hadn't.
Not your fault.
No, it's not my fault. And I've got a whole new contracting team, costing me 3 times as much, but you get what you pay for. And the electrician was in yesterday, so I actually have less light in here now because he got rid of my fake lights and put in like 2 hanging bulbs just so I had a little bit of light here, and I have my ring light. But electrician's in. Things are moving along. I think I'm hoping in the next week or 2 that this place is going to be done, and I'm going to be able to set up and have all kinds of cool things all over the place. But until then, we're here. But I
was going to say, it looks a little bit darker in there.
Yeah,
kind of like it's got that snuff video type quality.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was filming that before we went on the air, so.
Blink if they're keeping you against your will.
I can't do that. Oh man, I just
things are going good, man. Mrs. Meanie redid the wall behind me.
Looks so good.
Shout out to Wildcat Belts. They sent me a belt hanger so I can hang the belt. Mm-hmm. Which way? Oh, okay, I could go this way.
There you go. See it hanging on the wall. Guess what? It doesn't matter if your head's blocking it because this is an audio podcast. So
exactly,
the majority of our listeners.
Exactly, Bubba.
Yeah. Hey, Meanie, we were talking about how they can see us on Patreon. Well, today is Cyber Monday, as they call it. Post Black Friday.
Should I take my shirt off? Oh,
what? Yeah. So we had Thanksgiving. First of all, we hope everybody had a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. Healthy, absolutely. I mean, no COVID, nobody. If you had a good Thanksgiving, you didn't have a healthy one. I myself had a good 3,600 calories per meal. So yeah, I hope, Meanie, how was your Thanksgiving? We'll start with that before we start shilling our Patreon.
No, it was excellent. Actually, it was weird in a way that, for the last 15 years since me and Mrs. Meanie have been together, we've always traveled. And, usually before we would travel to Connecticut and do Thanksgiving at her parents' place. But then we start doing WrestleCade every year down in North Carolina. And that would seem particularly brutal to go from Philly to Connecticut and then Connecticut back to Philly. And then I offered to drive to WrestleCade, so to drive from Philadelphia to North Carolina.
Yeah.
So we trimmed Connecticut out of the Thanksgiving equation and started going to my sister's. And, for the last couple of years, we've been going to my sister's, but keeping the tradition of Christmas in 2 states.
Sure.
Where, normally Christmas we go, either Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve to Connecticut, hang out Christmas Eve, wake up Christmas morning, have a big Christmas breakfast, exchange gifts, and then drive straight to South Jersey to where my sister lives, which sounds crazy, but on Christmas Day, there's literally no traffic because everybody's got to be where they got to be.
Yeah.
So we could just shoot right down 95. It's no big deal. But yeah, just the fact that we didn't do anything Thanksgiving Day, and Friday we weren't driving to North Carolina, right? Today we would have been at WrestleCade, and so just weird. But it was good in the fact that it was just us.
Yeah.
And sometimes I miss just me and Tracy, without like having to worry about
me.
all these other. No.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, there's all these other wheels in motion, between traveling and bringing around family and, worrying about when the kids are going to start acting up and and stuff like that. Can I get football on before somebody gets really comfortable into this Hallmark movie that's on TV? You're in the house. It's my sister and other relatives, and they like to put on the Hallmark channel. And it's like, I haven't even eaten a tryptophan yet, and I'm falling asleep. Let me put on some football. But no, it was cool. It was cool. We kind of did like the untraditional Thanksgiving, where after you have your big Thanksgiving meal Friday, you have the turkey sandwiches.
Yeah.
So we fuck it. Let's just have the turkey sandwiches on Thanksgiving. Fuck
Seriously.
it. We did that. We had all the desserts. We had she made fancy coffee drink, which is my favorite thing of hers. We have the cold brew maker where we do different flavor cold brews and stuff. And there's peppermint and then there's molasses or something like that. I know I'm fucking it up. So I know she would punch me. But, and like she bought this whipped cream and all this stuff. And then like, like any get together or holiday, you have the cheese plates and stuff like that. And she got this really cool, she got a couple different cheeses with the crackers and the bread and the spinach dip. But dude, I was marking the fuck out for this coffee cheese.
I saw you posted that on social media.
Aldi.
Oh, I've had some form of a coffee cheese once before, where it's like it's like the outside of the cheese has like a coffee, almost like a crumble, like a powder even. Yeah, that's some good stuff.
This might be slightly different, but just as delicious.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna judge.
No, I'm not.
It seemed like there was like a slight coating. Look, I'm. This is like I'm fantastic. I had my fatgasm on Thanksgiving.
Oh my.
No, seriously though, Mrs. Meanie did a tremendous job, and we basically had leftovers on Thanksgiving, and then yesterday we had the leftovers.
So I tapped out.
Which is never a bad thing.
No, I tapped out on the leftovers after yesterday. I just felt 2 days in a row, I felt like absolute garbage just eating all that. It was so good. So good.
You're Episcopalian or something, whatever.
Yeah, right. Well, pescatarian. So I actually
I know. I'm just fucking that up on purpose.
Yeah, I grilled salmon.
That sounds excellent, actually.
Instead of turkey.
Salmon
It was really good. But again, it's like, okay, so you're looking, your plate's got stuffing. It's got sweet potato casserole. It's got like a garlic cheese mashed potato thing going on. We had 3 different types of pie. There were 6 of us if you're counting my 3 children. Okay, because it was me, my wife, my kids, and my sister-in-law. We did not need 3 pies, but they wanted to bake a pumpkin pie. And then my wife had a hankering for a custard.
There's nothing wrong with a hankering.
No, but it was like a custard, coconut custard pie.
Dude, that's my favorite.
She hadn't had it since she was a kid. And she's like,
really?
I want it. And she's like, there's this great place, Solly's, where they everything's like made right there on the premises. So I go there and I'm just like, I'm looking over at this apple crumble pie. And I'm like, well, that's my thing. So we had 3 pies. And spoiler, 3 days later, we still have 3 pies. Because we're still working.
I'll be driving up.
So come on by
right after this podcast.
we'll
leave it in the driveway.
We'll set a nice table for you.
Tracy set the GPS.
So it's the food. It was so good.
Yeah.
But then prior to eating that, there was so much leftover mix for like the pumpkin pie that my wife made little mini pumpkin pies. Well, you're just eating those all day long. And then she made these little brie bites, which are amazing. And then, of course, baked an absurd amount of cookies. So all day long, I'm eating, I don't know how many cookies I'm having, but I'm sitting there, I'm getting the sugars, and I'm like, I've got the sweats going on, and it's like, and so after 2 days, I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
You know what you got? You just go to the bathroom, take a shit, make room, and eat some more.
I mean, I did. I tried to at least, but it wasn't so much about the room in my stomach as it was just, I think it was the overload of fats and sugars into my system. My body just didn't know what to do with it, which is weird because I've been training. Rookie. Well, I've been training for this the entire quarantine. I put on as much fat as I possibly could. I made sure to eliminate as much muscle as I could. But it didn't pan out. So, I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner tonight because we still have leftovers, but I don't know.
I know what you're having for dinner tonight.
Leftovers.
Dude, there's a little trick, and maybe that's why I was able to put some food away. Like, I watched a documentary on these competitive eaters, and Joey Chestnut took some guy aside and showed him. And what those competitive eaters do is like drink tons of water.
Yeah, so I didn't drink much water at all, and that was the problem.
But I've been like the last couple months, I've been trying to drink a gallon a day, and except podcast days because I want to actually.
Well, so I even have a bottle of regular water here along with my. So you want to crack these open?
Yeah, let's do that.
I just got a black cherry vanilla Wegmans brand seltzer.
Apple and ginger from Aha.
Okay. Very nice. That's a good one. That's a good one. I've had that.
Fuck. There we go.
There it is. Yeah, now you can see. Now you can see because of our new setup here. You can see.
Yeah, I'm digging this.
Yeah, I'll explain that to everybody because I think we explained it to our Patreon before we went on the air. I did the thing for FITE TV last night, and we did this. I was producing the segment for the Mike Tyson, like the Fight and Focus, and I had this new thing. It was called interview mode for Ecamm Live, which is what we use. So this kind of bypasses Skype or any other type of thing, and Meanie can just log right in, which I think his audio quality is even better. We'll decide that. You might just be listening to his recorded audio if we didn't think it was good enough. But we decided to try this out, and I think it's going pretty well. But now Meanie can actually see the screen.
Yeah, it's like before I felt like I was looking outside the house, looking into the house, and not seeing what everybody else was doing.
Now you're a part of it.
So, I get to actually see the border, the logo.
Wait until we do Ask Meanie, and I start putting up Patreon questions on the screen. Unfortunately, I think I can only. So there's definitely a way that I could add in, like from Twitter and Facebook. I just have no idea how to do that. So I'll have to look into that because that would be kind of cool too to be able to add those.
I've seen people do that.
Yeah, I know I can. I know I can do it. I just don't. I know how to do the comments for people who are on Patreon who are watching us live, but I don't know how to do it from all the other ones. So, but anyway, let's crack these open real quick.
Yep.
That sounded nice. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Wherever the fuck they're going. I totally expect them to get slaughtered on Monday Night Football by the Seattle Seahawks. So.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good for them based on the Seahawks and the Eagles.
I can't remember the last time the
performance.
The fucking Seahawks. I can't remember But like I said, I have a side podcast, Meanie's Eagles Recaps, with Giovanni and Connor Miles.
Where can we find that? Let everybody know where they can get that.
On the Eagles Brawl Network. There's a overall sports brawl network. Each city has their own version of the Brawl Network, and this is for the Eagles Brawl Network. Giovanni, 13-year-old kid who's very knowledgeable, And me, him, and I know I'm going to screw up his name, Eric Kratz from Sports Illustrated. He's been on the last 2 episodes. And that's been going pretty good. A lot of fun. And, like I say, in the Mind of the Meanie logo, it says sports. But I realize a lot of people are from different parts of the world, and they might not give a shit about our sports. So this allows me to talk a little bit more about, Eagles specifically. And but it's been pretty good. And getting a lot of feedback, getting a lot of new followers through, new Eagles fans. But it's been pretty good, pretty fun. Well, that's fun. Watching the Eagles play, not fun.
No, not so much. I do want to say, as far as followers, subscribers to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
I just checked right now because we put out a thing. I really wanted to see if I could encourage people to. I said if we reach 1,000 while we're on the air, I would read the name of everybody who. Not all 1,000, but the 36 people that got us to 1,000. So we're up now. I mean, we're up to 966 at this point. And it's so crazy because we had this little journey to 500, and we got there pretty quick. And then it was like, okay, let's get to 1,000, and it was like instantly we're at like 900 something.
Yeah.
And now it's just slowly crawling, and we appreciate every single person who's on there.
Inch by inch.
But I will always look at it and just go, I get not everybody uses YouTube or whatever, but it's like when you look at some of the numbers and you're like, we know how many people are listening. So we're just like, well, if everyone who's listening would just join our YouTube, and I'm talking to you right now, you who's sitting in your car listening to this, you who's sitting on your couch listening to this, I'm talking to you specifically, John. There's one dude, John, who's just lost his mind right now. But no, I join our YouTube. We're gonna do some really fun stuff.
Fuck Gary. Fuck Gary.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? And that's the thing, Gary. We've had enough of your shit. No, you know what? If we have a Gary who's listening, we don't know. So we don't know of a Gary that listens, but we love you, Gary.
Fuck make believe Gary. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, sounds like quite the fantasy.
Gary. That's my shout out to Richard Simmons on the Howard Stern show. They always had a sound clip of him talking to Gary Del Bate, Baba Booey.
Yeah,
and it was Gary, and then fucking Fred would always hit that sounder, and it's such an earworm. It's burned in my brain all these years later. But yeah, man.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got No,
seriously, the YouTube is a fun way to put some extra content on there.
Yeah.
Mrs. Meanie's going to start working on her videos again now that we finally have this room done. Yeah. If you go to her Instagram, vomitus.maximus on Instagram, she's killing it, dude. We got these new lights for the room, which if you're watching on Patreon, I'm kind of like trying to adjust on the fly. I just want to look good, But last night she was playing with them, and we went and got these new backgrounds for her to use, and she was doing this different stuff with lighting and stuff. The photos she took with the lights and her new backdrops looks like something straight out of a fashion magazine.
Yeah, I've seen some of them. It's incredible.
Yeah,
I'm so jealous. It's so cool with the right lighting, with the right everything, and I guess with a certain level of talent too, because I could have the right lighting. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I got my rosy Santa cheeks going on here right now. But I was outside going for a run would be a lie, but a brisk walk, we'll say. But I seriously, my daughter was riding her bike, and she's like, run with me. And I tried to run, and I'm instantly I could feel my quad. It was just it was giving me a warning. It's listen, neither of us want me to tear, but if you keep going,
Josh, look, This is your quad.
Yeah. This is your quad.
This is your quad, pal.
You're 37 years old, and this is the first time in 250 days that you've gotten up and moved. So,
yeah. Dude, shout out to my boy Donnie.
Yeah.
Hey,
Donnie.
Something similar. He's locked in for the quarantine, but luckily he gets to work from home. He does computer
Me too,
work.
yeah.
He slightly tore his Achilles just sitting. You know how you sit and you put your
feet
foot
up
back, your feet back, like when you're on your balls of your feet. He sat like that for so long behind the computer. He got a slight Achilles tendon tear.
I'd believe it. That's crazy.
He's in a walking boot, and that's just from the fucking quarantine.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I'm sitting all the time, and I've been lucky. We've talked about before all the different things that I've had the opportunity to do, from our show and the stuff with FITE, and our show on FITE. All these things. Yeah. But I'm just sitting here. Like, I'm just all day long. And it's like, okay, then we're done. It's like, okay, well, I've got some work to do. I got shoot job stuff to do. Okay, I'm sitting at my computer, and my wife was like, well, why don't you get one of those, like, balls to sit on? And I was like, well, that sounds...
I sit on my balls all the time.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need to spend money to sit on my balls. But, it's, but I'm just like, that's not something I have any interest in doing.
You're right.
My... I mentioned before, my sister-in-law was over. She works from home now because of the quarantine. She, at her house, just kind of has like a setup where she just like stands at her, at like her breakfast bar, and that's where she does her work all day long. And I'm like, how do you not sit down? And some people are just like, I don't know, they're just weird. They just want to stand all the time. I like to sit.
Did you ever see Jimmy Kimmel set up?
No.
He's got a desk attached to a treadmill. Oh, so wow. While he's doing all his work and stuff, he's constantly walking. I don't know if he still does it now, but there was that time where he dropped a shitload of weight.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
He started looking like one of those Vegas lounge act guy. But he was constantly walking because he had a treadmill, and they put a desk there so he can answer emails and slowly, go for
well, that's
a walk.
The thing. Yeah, you can't do like a long walk with that, or like a fast walk with that, but you could just be constantly moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not.
I could never do that. Yeah.
I can know. But I am, little inside baseball here.
Yes.
I was talking to the great people over at Cella Toys. And,
nice. Do tell.
So one of the things they said was, we need high quality photographs of you and Meanie for the carding for the action figures. If anyone's seen now, you can go to at JB Toys 1, where you can also purchase the Mine and the Meanie action figures, but if you're inside the US, but you go to at JB Toys 1 on Instagram. He just put up a video of him reviewing. He actually has the Nick Aldis figure in hand. It looks so good. And he turned it around, and on the back, if you're familiar with Hasbro's, they used to always have like this like outline drawing, in black and white of the figures, say collect them all. Well, they had that, and there's me and Meanie, and it says exclusive Mind of the Meanie action figures. And I was like, I don't know why, like it just never occurred to me that maybe we would be on the back of the Nick Aldis figure. I was like, dude, that's insane. And then I bought a Nick Aldis figure. But, so they said to me, they're like, yeah, so we'll need those from you. They also want, Meanie, I don't think you and I even talked about this yet. They wanted our input on, the action moves. Like, how it says like on the front, like, with, I don't know, like Demolition would have like with smashing punch or something, like it's like different things like that. It was like I'm trying to think, like Hulk Hogan is like with power slam action and like different things like that, like bear hug action. So they want they want ideas for something like that. So I don't know what the hell, like for mine is going to be like sarcastic interviewing action. I don't but it probably will something But
a sarcastic interviewing sneer.
yeah, with sarcastic sneer. But no, so but we need these high quality photos. So Meanie, of course, because he's a professional, has high quality photos. I have a screenshot from an interview that I did, and that's what I have. It is not high quality. So I said to them, well, how long do I have? They're like, well, you've got you've got a little while before we're going to need to start doing the artwork. So I actually wrote back to them. I said, can you give me like an actual date? And I told them, I said, I want the actual date because A, I need to schedule an actual photo shoot to get professional photos done. B, I need to get a haircut because, while my hair's not super, super long, you have to remember, I shaved my head in the middle of this quarantine, and it has since grown back to like what is pretty long for me.
Yeah.
But I would have to go somewhere and get a haircut. And then the third thing is I want to drop a couple of LBs because, I don't know how many more action figures I'm getting, and I'm intending to keep this on display forever. And I would like to think that I will be in better shape post-quarantine. So I don't want to just always look at that and go, and that was me with my extra 30 pounds of quarantine weight and super long hair. So that's kind of I'm using this as my like goal.
Well, some of it was baby weight. I mean,
yeah. Absolutely.
You had a kid, and you gave some sympathy.
Listen, I am carrying.
I'm here to help.
I'm carrying baby weight from at least 2 of my 3 children, and I'm carrying holiday weight from probably 2017, 18, 19, and here we are, 2020. So I'm carrying all that. It's just kind of been building over time. Then quarantine weight. It's like, it's tough, Meanie.
I got food baby weight.
You
Full of food babies.
Oh man. But I think that there's nothing better than when you have something like that, like a photo shoot. When I had to get headshots when I was out in California, I was doing some acting, and I had to when I had to take a headshot, that was the lowest.
My first time, I swear.
That was the lowest I'd ever been weight-wise in my adult life, because there's not many calories in it. But no, wait, what?
Why does it smell like bleach in here?
Yikes. But I used that as like my mental thing. Like that was how I would get myself every morning to like get up. Well, here's the problem though. I dieted down. I looked amazing. I took those photos, and by the time I was at my next audition, I was a good 7 pounds heavier than I was when I took the photos. So it was like it didn't really work out. But anyway, so
boy, I wish 7 pounds would make a difference in my life.
Well,
oh man, that was me 7 pounds ago.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't say, Bri.
Yeah.
7 pounds, right?
You know what though? You've got height, so.
Oh yeah,
there's a
thank
lot.
God for that.
Yeah, there's a lot.
If I was 5'4", if I was 5'4", I would look like a fucking UFO at this fucking weight. Seriously, just fucking. Ugh.
Well, you got people like my buddy Calvin, who
I'd have to put on my belt with a fucking boomerang. Fuck.
Yeah, my buddy Calvin, who just celebrated his 40th birthday.
And looks like he's still in his fucking 20s.
I was going to say, looks almost identical to when I met him when he was in 6th grade.
That's insane.
Just put a Mortal Kombat t-shirt on him and throw him at Challenges Arcade, and he'd look exactly the same. But no, Calvin he looks exactly the same. But this dude is, what is he? He's like 5'5", like 100 pounds soaking wet. Like he is, and the dude still,
100 pounds with 2 bricks in his pocket.
Yeah. And he looks in, it's, I don't know. It's genetics, man. It's genetics, but,
dude, I want to meet the devil he made a deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give up like a baby toe just to look that young forever, you know, or something.
I would give up both
Sacrifice
baby toes if I could get, I would give up a baby toe for an inch of height. So there you go. You get me?
I'm trying to think. Like, I know people try to do those fucking things where you lay on the inversion table.
Oh, it like stretches you.
Yeah, does that work?
I don't think so. I may have talked about this on the show once before, but I remember driving.
I hear you feeling fantastic, but I don't know if you actually get taller.
Well, no, but like the when I was in OVW and I was driving back from a show one time, and Wade Barrett and I were having a conversation where I was basically like just kind of saying like, you know, it's a little frustrating because of how short I am. Like, I know that this is not, you know, and WWE had already given their thing of like, if you're not 6 feet tall or Evan Bourne, we're not interested. And like, you know, it was like kind of, I mean, obviously that's changed a lot, you know, in the last 12 plus years, but it was frustrating. And I remember him just very seriously discussing how he had read about this surgery that you can do where they break your legs and they like extend. And I'm like, dude, I'll take one step to run the ropes and I'll have like a Sid Vicious situation. Ooh. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
the singer from Weezer had that done.
Who's that?
The singer from Weezer.
Yeah.
Rivers Cuomo had that done to one leg because he was born. One leg was short,
right,
longer than
and
the
that's
other.
a different.
So he had to they broke it, separated it, he grew back together, broke it again. Now he's got. But
there's only so much that you can like you can only do that so much. Like I'm built like a 5'8" guy. I mean, I'm technically built like a 5'9.5" guy because I don't have a disc in my neck and I have I have my C2 and C3 vertebrae are fused together.
Would you have a surgery?
No, congenital fusion. And then I have yes, I was born that way. So then I have, which they actually said when I injured my neck was actually like beneficial because it protected me. So even though it was an issue, it was like a double-edged sword because it protected me when I injured the disc below. But the problem is, because it was almost like a brace, but the problem is I have the 4 vertebrae or the 4 discs below the C2, C3 are all degenerative. Like they're all,
wow.
I have one that's like slightly herniated, and then I have the other ones that are degenerative because they're all working overtime. My whole life, they've been picking up the slack from not having that other disc. I got tons of neck issues. We could do a whole show on that, so I always look at it and I should be ever so slightly taller because my neck is just kind of as it's whittled away over the years. And then there's a posture thing, you know, it is what it is, but I digress. I don't know what I was talking about.
I got this thing with my neck where, and Tracy fucking hates it. But like I could just simply go, you know, I was trying to see if I could do it on the mic. Like my neck will just pop.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Just like that. But she has this thing where like the sound physically hurts her.
Yeah.
Because it just sounds so bad.
I did it like a couple of days ago. I cracked my neck like that when I was putting my son to bed, and my middle kid, and he'll be 4 in April, but so he's at a great age at this point, and he's like staring at me like, "What did you just do?" And I was like, you know, Daddy has a bad neck, so sometimes, you know, I just kind of have to crack it a little bit. And he's like, why you do that? Why you do that? And I'm like, well, I'm not like cracking the bones. It's like the air in between. I'm trying to like explain to a 3-year-old, like, you know. And I was like, you know, like how I like crack my knuckles sometimes and stuff, you know. And so he's like, you know, shocked. And then I go and I put him in his bed. He goes to me, and it was like the cutest thing. He's like, I don't have to do that on my neck, do I? And I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm like, you have a good neck. He's like, yeah. He's like, little guys don't do that on their neck. And I was like, little guys don't do that. So I was like,
last thing you need is him doing the old Peter Griffin on himself. You know, where he breaks his. Hey Peter, would you like to join our book club? Would I? And then and snaps his own neck and fucking lands on the stairs. But Yeah, that's the last thing you need a little Shernoff doing.
No, I didn't need to do that. Dude, he is, I don't know how he is still standing at this point. That guy is a daredevil.
Kids are just so resilient at that age.
Yeah.
My nephew used to just jump off the couch and take a flying back bump on the floor and go.
So
I'm like, please stop that.
Yeah, he'll just do it. He'll just jump from like the couch to the ottoman, and we're like, stop. Like we always tell him to stop, and but he'll like get on the couch and he'll like squat there just so like we know that he's like we can't tell that he's kind of standing because he's still low down, and he stares at us waiting until we notice. And then we see him and he gets a big smile and we're like, do not do it. And he just jumps. And then we're like, all right, go into your room. And then he's like, no. But the other day, he did himself a mischief for sure. He was eating an apple, like an apple slice, and he got overzealous and he bit the tip of his finger like off.
Oh shit.
Like it was, so then he had Band-Aids on it, and then he had to have extra Band-Aids because the Band-Aid that was keeping it didn't have the right character. It was really, I mean, some serious stuff, but
I wish that was like my most concerning thing of the day. I don't have the right fucking Band-Aid.
Yeah. Well, that's
the thing. Fucking Snoopy Band-Aid.
Yeah, if you're looking,
heads are gonna roll.
Yeah, if you're looking for Olaf and you get Sven, you just call it a day.
Yeah.
Better go to sleep and start fresh tomorrow. But I wanted to take a minute. You can just sit right here.
Just 1 minute.
I'll tell you how I became the. So I wanted to talk about our Patreon because back 30 minutes ago I mentioned that it's Cyber Monday, and and this is the final day of November, the final day for you to join our Patreon and be grandfathered in as an OG Pod Squad member. So, Meanie, I think we got to break this down for everybody of what this is going to look like. Okay. All right. If you join right now,
this second,
instantly. Maybe if you're listening to this at 11:59 on Monday, get on it. You're gonna need to, because it's Eastern time too. Because I think I might have to actually stay up to do this to set it. So I'm not staying up for Pacific. So if you join right now at the $5 or the $7,
yes, you
will be grandfathered in as an OG Pod Squad member. Now, if you're a $3 member, as my good friend Wade Barrett would say, I'm afraid I've got some bad news because as you're listening to this, that's done. That has been closed out. You cannot join the $3 anymore. But if you join the $5 or $7, that's the Elite or Elite Plus, you can become an OG Pod Squad member. So starting December 1st, you will be grandfathered in. So you will, for $5 or $7, be able to get whatever is on there, even if it's something that is on a $10 or $25, $75 tier moving forward, you will be able to get it. Now, the difference between $5 and $7 is $5, you get to choose. Do you want a phone call every month, or do you want to be part of our Zoom call? $7, you get both. So I will tell you right now, those are going to be parts of a, let me look it up, Meanie, to give them an idea. Because look, we really want you to be a part of our Patreon, and we want you to get in there when it's cheaper. There's still going to be a $5 option. There's still going to be a $10 option. So why don't we go ahead right now, Meanie? We've discussed all of this, and I think, why don't we tell everybody what the new options are going to be?
Yes.
So, maybe most important. Yeah. Okay. So here you go. The $5 Pod Squad tier starting December 1st. Tomorrow, if you're listening to this on Monday, you will get a signed membership card signed by the Blue Meanie. You'll get access to video versions of the pod. You will get access to the watch along video, and you will get access to exclusive merchandise. That will be your $5 tier.
Correct.
The reason that I'm saying do this before December 1st is if you do it before December 1st, you are also going to get 20% off all of our Pro Wrestling Tees merchandise. You're going to get to vote on watch-alongs, and you're going to get a monthly 5-minute call or Skype. So literally from the end of November to the next day, December 1st, and I said that because I can't remember how many days it was, November 30th, right? So literally from November 30th, if you pay $5 for November 30th, you are grandfathered in getting your 20% off and your call or your Skype. If you wait until the next day, you don't get that 20% off and you don't get the call or the Skype anymore. You have to pay more for that. So that's why we're encouraging you, please just go and sign up now and get grandfathered in. There's always time to upgrade if you want to later. So if you're like, oh, no, but I don't know, I might want to do it. Well, just lock yourself into that $5 so you know you're at least locked in for that.
Yeah.
Pod Squad Elite will be $10. You get all of the above, and you get access to our Facebook group. Let me actually, you know what? I'm going to bring this up on our actual Patreon because I want to make sure that my list didn't change when we actually put the thing in, and people are going to sign up and go, well, wait a minute, what happened? But meanwhile, Meanie, say something while I'm looking this up.
Yeah, man, this is a good deal. We've been working hard to try to bring more options to the Pod Squad. And, there's so many Patreons out there, and we're grateful to everybody who, is a part of our Pod Squad right now. But we want to try to grow this community. And we're having a lot of fun over here, man. I understand if, you're happy with, the free version, just downloading and stuff like that. But, like, to actually sit here and watch us put this together and then have us do the watch-alongs and people get to interact with the show as we're doing it.
Yeah, which is really
It's actually
cool.
It's really cool. And we got the Skype call coming up tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Skype calls have been a lot of fun, man. It's just one big hang, It's just like a night out at McCusker's where everybody's just hanging out and shooting the breeze and just talking, man. And
guess what? You would spend a lot more at McCusker's.
Oh my God!
In a month's time, then
I guess the only good thing that came out of the quarantine is that I've been saving money.
Yeah, right. So Pod Squad Elite $10. You get the signed membership card. You get exclusive merchandise. You get a bonus watch along episode. You get access to a video version of the pod. You get to vote on the watch along. You get live access to the video version of the watch along and live access to the video version of the pod, which means you can be commenting right now as we have some people doing right here. Our good friend James Sorensen, loving the Pod Squad. Everyone is truly amazing and truly phenomenal. You'll get James Sorensen. He'll put you over if you join us. And he says, "Go Eagles." Well, we appreciate that. Wish they would listen. So you also get access to the private Facebook group, which we have a lot of fun in there. Access to the monthly Zoom call. You get 10% off Mind of the Meanie merchandise at Pro Wrestling Tees, and you get pre-sale access for live shows should they happen. They will. I mean, the world has to come back eventually, so they will happen. So that's what you get for the $10 there. Now, Pod Squad Gold, $25. Only 25 places. There's unlimited for Elite, but only 25 spots are available for Pod Squad Gold. And that, you get the membership card, exclusive merch, bonus watch-along video, access to the video version of the pod, vote on watch-along, live access to the video version of the pod, live access to the video version of the watch-along, private Facebook group, access to monthly Zoom call, pre-sale for live shows should they happen, monthly check-in call with the Blue Meanie and myself, Josh Shernoff, for 5 minutes, monthly Q&A with Meanie and guests. Sometimes we'll have guests there, but I mean, as if Meanie wasn't enough. And with a 2-month commitment for this $25 tier, we will send you Mind of the Meanie action figures, a Mind of the Meanie action figure 2-pack. After you've been a member for 2 months, there you go. You don't even have to order it, or you'll get an extra one just for being a member. And 25% off all of our merchandise at Pro Wrestling Tees. So that's for $25. And here come the heavy hitters. Pod Squad Diamond, $75 per month. Only 20 spots available for that. You get all the stuff I said before. I'm not going to read all that stuff again. Plus, Meanie and myself will follow you on Twitter or Instagram with a 3-month commitment. We will follow you on there. So, that's something, I don't know if anyone cares about me, but some people get the opportunity to go, hey, look, Blue Meanie follows me. And, put yourself over at Meanie's expense. That's what I do every week. You get a free tier-specific shirt, one design per year, which means you will get a Fancy Pod Squad Diamond member t-shirt that cannot be purchased outside of being a member of this. Just for that 1 month. Just sign up for 1 month, you get that shirt. You will also get, and this is where it starts paying for itself, you will get 2 tickets to 1 live show a month. You can accrue up to 2. You have to have a 3-month commitment. So once you are a member on this for 3 months, you will start accruing, which means on that 3rd month, that's 1 free show. On the 4th month, that's your 2nd free show. Now, because shows aren't happening right now, at that point, it just kind of keeps going, but you're locked in forever. Even if you canceled right there, you're locked in for 2 free shows. Once shows are happening, what that basically means is you got your 2 shows, you come to one of the shows, well, the next month you'll get another one back, but you can only accrue up to 2. Plus, you're going to get a monthly check-in call with Blue Meanie and myself for 10 minutes. We promise you, we will say, even if you have nothing to say, if you want us to, we will sit there in silence for 10 minutes. I don't know that I'm physically capable of doing that. Okay, we're getting to the end here. Pod Squad Chrome. $100 a month. Only 10 spots are available. You get everything we talked about before. Obviously, the Mind of the Meanie action figures. You do not need a 2-month commitment. For $100, you will get it for signing up. We will do all the following you on Instagram and Twitter. You get a free shirt every 3 months. So quarterly with a 3-month commitment. So once you hit that 3rd month, you will get a shirt of your choosing. You go on to, it can be from Pro Wrestling Tees. It can be from our Patreon exclusive. You just tell us this is the shirt I want, and you got it. You get the same deal with the 2 tickets to 1 live show a month. You can accrue up to 4 of them. You get a monthly check-in call with us for 10 minutes. You get VIP pre or post live show dinner with Meanie, myself, and the other tier members of the $100 or more. And this is probably the coolest thing, especially if you're somebody in the wrestling business. 1 30-minute virtual seminar with the Blue Meanie and or me, in case you want to ask about podcasting and stuff like that, every 2 months. So every other month, you get a 30-minute virtual seminar with Meanie.
Yes.
And then there's the last one here. The final tier. The final frontier.
Yes.
Pod Squad Blue. Because there is no color worth more in this world than blue.
Oh, absolutely.
This is $200 a month. And there are only 5 spots. You see that? 5 spots available. You get everything we talked about before. However, you get a free shirt of your choosing every single month. So right there, start doing the math, because those shirts cost like $20 plus shipping, whatever. So let's say you're spending $30 on a shirt anyway. Right off the bat, that cuts you down to, now it's $170 for this tier, because you're getting that free shirt every single month, a free shirt of your choosing. We're not just going to send you like some like random, just Meanie logo tee every single month or something. Although the logo is pretty great. You get to choose what shirt you want. You get lifetime tickets for 2 to all live shows with a 3-month commitment. You have to be committed for 3 months in this tier. But after that, you will have forever 2 tickets to any show we ever do. No accruing, no anything. You just always, you're welcome there. You will get your monthly check-in call for 10 minutes with us. You will get VIP pre or post live show dinner. And you will get one 60-minute virtual seminar with Meanie and or myself every 2 months. So that's what you've got right now. And we're always going to be adding to these things and change it. But that is what's coming up. Again, we encourage you today, go on today. Sign up now just to lock yourself in as an OG member. And then here's a fun thing for the OG members. You know how I said 25 or 20 or 5 or whatever it was, or 10 spots open? If you're an OG member and you want to jump into any of those at any time, it doesn't matter if it says it's closed. You let us know, and we will open it up for you. But it'll be closed to anybody else. But you will always, forevermore, if you were ever signed up before December 1st, 2020, if you were a Patreon member before December 21st, December 1st, man, it's a lot of numbers I've been saying here.
Yes.
That's
why I let you do the talking on this.
So anyway, you'll always be able to jump in, whatever it is. So you don't have to, you can go on and say, you don't have to worry. If you sign up now, you don't have to worry and just be like, I don't have the money. I would love to do that, $75 tier, but I don't have the money to do that right now. And what if we run out of room and there's nothing else available? You're good. We'll put you in. So anyway, that's that. What did that take? 45 minutes to do that. But it's important. We want all of you to know.
By when this airs, this is the last day. To become an OG member.
And we got James Sorensen's asking, can I sign up at the 200 blue tier now? And I can't believe I'm saying no to having it for an extra month. This is probably a really bad business decision.
We're the worst businessmen.
No. Wait, James, you want to give us $200 for an extra month early, an extra 200? No, I'm sorry. We can't accept that, James. No, unfortunately, the reason we legitimately couldn't accept that is because with only a couple days left in the month, you would not be getting your money's worth. We wouldn't be able to offer you what you're supposed to be getting for $200 a month. So no, we will not do that to you. But come December 1st, James, man, if that's what you want to do, who am I to stop you?
Let your meanie flag fly.
Yeah, seriously. Meanie flags, which can be purchased on our Patreon exclusive merchandise. That is no joke. Yeah. Man, speaking of merchandise, you're wearing a sweet Tracy Smothers shirt.
Yes, sir.
Him fighting a bear.
OG since fighting since '82. Fighting through since '82. Yeah, man, love Tracy Smothers. I'm still in shock, but yeah, man, this is a great shirt. If you still want to support Tracy, go over to his Pro Wrestling Tees, and I believe this still goes to his family. So, yeah. Like he says, there's your family, man. Why do I hate you? Yeah. Meanie, why do I hate you? Me and you, why can't we get along, man?
It's funny I've watched some Tracy Smothers. Unfortunately, since he passed, I've watched some of his stuff, and I see him in such a different light after hearing some of your stories. Like, I appreciate the subtle comedy behind some of his stuff that I didn't maybe when I was younger. I didn't quite appreciate that,
There's a lot of I'm like that with a lot of wrestlers I grew up watching, and I get into the business and I watch them from a whole new set of eyeballs and appreciate them.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, I always saw you as like this fun-loving guy, and then I realized once I got to know you, I was like, oh man, that's all facade. Meanie is one of the angriest people. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Just behind the wheel of a car, man. I'll give you that much. You get me behind the wheel of a car, and I will motherfuck a motherfucker. Just
and for $200 a month, we'll get you behind the wheel. Nope, that's not true.
For $200 a month, I will motherfuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah. That's the thing. For $200 a month, just a 1 month commitment. That's it. Meanie will call you up and say, hey, motherfucker, thank you.
Listen here, you motherfucker. I put an extra.
Hey, don't give it away for free.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Trying to sell some things here.
I was talking about Shaq.
What else?
Or no, Shaft, not Shaq. What the fuck am I talking about? What's my problem? What's your deal, man? Why do I hate you?
So here's a fun thing that's going to piss people off. Meanie, I had a great business meeting the other day.
Yes.
Phone call with somebody.
Something that we can't talk about yet.
Can't talk about it at all. But I think when we can talk about it, you're all going to be very pleasantly surprised and excited, and it's just bringing more content your way. So we're very happy about it. I love to give these little teases, though. I like to because I think it gets people excited. They know we're working on stuff, you know.
Working them.
Yeah. Hey, when you
but,
what was the Hulk Hogan tweet that time? Hey Marks, when you work a work into a work and shoot and whatever.
Yeah, and then Ronda Rousey just retweeted it or something.
Yeah,
I was like, oh,
it's like
whatever.
All right.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's adorable.
Yeah. Oh, hair tussle.
What?
It's a little hair tussle, huh? That was cute.
Yeah. James Sorensen's guessing a Mind of the Meanie video game. That's called Retromania.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much.
Where you can see both myself and the Meanie in the video game. And
so you win the pony.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. I think with Retromania,
kind of have an announcement there.
Yeah, not quite yet. I don't want to.
Not yet.
But let's just say we're hoping that more than just Meanie as a wrestler and me as a ring announcer, we're hoping to have an even larger presence in the Retromania.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. So never want to announce anything until it's final, you know, as you say all the time.
Because you don't want to have to explain away something that didn't happen.
Yeah. So what else is going on, man? What's up? What's up with you?
Dude, I have to say, I feel bad I didn't say this right out the gate, but rest in peace, Bob Ryder.
Oh man, yeah. I'm sorry. We should have said that right away. It's not for a lack of feeling awful about it. Just a nut.
No. It's Bob. Bob was a good dude. He's been battling cancer for the last couple of years or so, and from what I'm reading, he succumbed to it because he was doing intense chemotherapy and stuff like that. But definitely, Bob Ryder was definitely an unsung hero in ECW, just for the fact that he did the thing. He worked for Prodigy, and he was like a moderator on there, and he would bring his laptop to all the ECW arena shows, pay-per-views, stuff like that.
Explain to, and I'm not saying this tongue-in-cheek, explain to some of our listeners what Prodigy is, because legitimately we know, we've talked about this on the show in the past, we've got listeners who are in their early 20s, and we're talking about probably this happening before they were born.
Yeah.
So can you tell everybody what Prodigy was? Well,
Prodigy was, an internet service just like AOL. It was, it's kind of like, back in the day when videotape players came out and you had a choice between beta and VHS. Well, back in the day when internet service providers, there was a choice between AOL and Prodigy. And there was a message board. There's like a big, huge wrestling online community at Prodigy, and Bob Ryder was like the leader of that. And he would always bring his laptop to ECW shows, pay-per-views, stuff like that, and do live play-by-play of ECW shows on Prodigy. he would bring wrestlers up, do mini interviews, all that stuff, and then eventually ECW started having an event called CyberSlam, and a few people helped put that together, but Bob Ryder would be there, and he would do he would kind of do the same thing along the lines of, a live play-by-play of the CyberSlam Q&A. There would be like a meet and greet press conference thing, with the wrestlers and the fans and stuff like that. He would do all that stuff, and then eventually when ECW got their own website, he became the webmaster for ECW. I forget what ECWWrestling.com, or I forget what it was, but their official website. He became the leader of the ECW website, and then eventually he was the founding member of OneWrestling.com, which was a brand new news site at the time. It's still around. I believe Bill Apter is the sole owner now.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's the owner or just, I don't know how. I don't know what is going to happen now, but I know Bill's been kind of like the he's been running a lot of the stuff there.
He's been the George Napolitano.
He's been the George Napolitano of wrestling websites. I know that was something that Bill always spoke very highly. When we were doing the after chat, there were times where we would want to do certain content, certain interviews, certain things, and anytime we were planning to release like a video thing or something, he always wanted to make sure that it was okay with Bob Ryder, because he said Bob had always been so good to him. He said he never ever, like, it didn't matter what was going on. He would always take care of Bill. Bill would put up content. Bill was compensated for said content. Even if times were tough and things he always took care of Bill. And I know they were close friends. I know they actually spoke the day before Bob Ryder passed. And, one of the things we always made sure that, it was always like, okay, Bob Ryder has right of first refusal on some content that we were going to do. If it was like a video thing for the internet, because we, hey, do you want this on OneWrestling.com before we do it on like the After Chat YouTube channel when that was a thing? And like, and Bob was always just, no, you guys do your thing. It's no problem. So then we would still try to make sure to get some of that stuff over to One Wrestling just for content purposes. But I didn't mean to cut you off in your story.
No,
I was just gonna say I met Bob Ryder one time, where he gave me tickets to. Bill had gotten me and a friend tickets to a TNA pay-per-view when they were at I want to say it was at the Leocora Center.
Okay,
and I met him there when he gave me the tickets, and it was as brief could be, but friendly guy, got the tickets from him. I'm saddened by the fact that, this always happens when you hear these great things. I felt this way we talked about with Tracy Smothers. I never met Tracy Smothers, never had the opportunity to work with him or even just do it. Would have just been cool to do an interview, and be able to just kind of play off of that. It's always upsetting, no matter what, having nothing to do with me, but it's always upsetting for me when you hear all these great things about the person. You go, God, in the business for so long, never got an opportunity to cross paths really and get to know them or get to work with them. But I've always heard just such great things about him. But please continue, what you're saying.
Like last night, me and Mrs. Me were watching Rise of Fall ECW, and there's a shot of when they're talking about Paul Heyman. There's a photo of Paul Heyman up on the stage next to the hard camera, and in the background you see Bob Ryder with his laptop typing away, what's going on the show. And it's funny you say, you got free tickets to TNA through Bob Ryder, because if it wasn't for Bob Ryder, there might not have been a TNA Wrestling, which later, became Impact. Bob had a fishing expedition on his boat, and he brought on Jeff Jarrett and all these different people, and just the spark of the idea of TNA Wrestling was born on that fishing trip, and then they put the wheels in motion, which gave plenty of talent, plenty of work.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Bob Ryder, a lot of guys might not have gotten a chance to, apply their trade or
I don't know
get on
I don't know
TV
that an
and stuff.
AJ Styles would be in the position
Right.
he's in today. Guys like that. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, look, what he brought to the wrestling business, it's something you've said so many times on the show about how everybody from who's tearing the tickets to, the janitor in the building, everybody is so valuable. They all play
Absolutely.
their role. But he, talk about like an unsung hero, and now it's, his accomplishments or his contributions, I should say, are being sung. But just, man, he's such a taking things from Prodigy to then, to other aspects of the internet. It was such an enormous thing. And I think that younger fans may take for granted just how important Bob Ryder was to places like ECW. To have that presence on the internet, because it wasn't like you can go, oh, okay, yeah, so he was doing a Prodigy chat thing and doing whatever. You couldn't just go hop on Twitter. You couldn't go on Facebook.
Right.
You couldn't go on Instagram. You couldn't do any of these things. You couldn't, all the message boards and stuff that there are now didn't exist then when he was doing it. It's what he did was he really took a promotion in a lot of ways was a large part, in my mind at least, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in bringing ECW, awareness of ECW to a larger audience outside of the Philly, New York, Baltimore, Delaware, like that kind of area where ECW is kind of known. Well, now you've got people out in California that are able to kind of follow along with what's going on live at the arena.
Absolutely.
I think that is just such an important part of the history of that company.
Yeah. I mean, he was a huge integral part. And, ECW owes a lot to Bob Ryder. That's why, you watch Rise and Fall in ECW. Like I said, I saw him in the background on the stage, but there's a companion piece to Rise and Fall of ECW called Forever Hardcore, done by Jeremy Borash. And Bob Ryder is, interviewed throughout that documentary as well. And then later on, he went on to be a part of WCW, which I know I leapfrogged into TNA, but
yeah,
me and Bob and Jeremy Borash had this friendship. And when I wasn't on the road and I was at home, I was, I would listen to Bob Ryder and Jeremy Borash on, was it Radio WCW Radio or something like that? It was like a live stream on the WCW website. And I would message Bob or Jeremy with like some fun fact or something goofy. And that gave them the license to go, we have a contracted WWE wrestler listening in right now. And he says, blah, 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 blah. Whatever.
And this segues perfectly into how Meanie got fired.
Dude, as soon as I got fired, that was like my first interview. Bob Ryder was in town for something. He might have been in town for ECW. I met up with Bob at his hotel, and we did an interview. And we pulled back the curtain that, I was the contracted WWE wrestler.
It was me all along, Austin.
It was me, Ryder. But Bob was always cool. He would always, help and put me over, online and stuff like that. He put over ECW. I mean, he was a friend of the business, friend of wrestling. Like me, he was a huge fan of Bill Watts' Mid-South and UWF. We would long over those days of wrestling and stuff like that. And, ECW was a lot like, Watts' UWF, because people believed it was real.
Yeah.
Bob Ryder, man, great friend of the business, great friend in general. If you looked at Twitter and you saw the outpouring of love and respect for him, I mean, his passing has really hit a lot of people really hard, and it got me too. But there's a lot of people out there who owe their careers to Bob and stuff like that, and his fingerprint or footprint will forever be felt in this business.
We have unfortunately done too many of these since we started this show. Too many times talking about that. I think I had mentioned once before, I have a list every time somebody has passed that I add to in my notes, because for my December show last year was the first time I did this, and I wanted to do it again this year. I did an in memoriam at the end of the show, because I thought that that's a nice thing to pay tribute to those people, because I get to go every month on FITE TV and joke about the wrestling business, but it's a way to also say, like, hey, I have a high respect for these people. This list is disgustingly long. It is for 2020. I'm just looking at it, and compared to last year's list, it's heartbreaking. When I'm going through this, because I'm getting to the point now where I have to start the preparations for all the graphics and stuff. And it's just and look, I don't mind putting the time in to make it. That's not my complaint. My complaint is how many people we've lost in the wrestling business this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in this world in general, but we won't get into a whole, we'll spin out of that.
Right.
And I want to plug our merchandise, but I want to plug our merchandise in a different way today, if we can.
Sure.
Because we have a new holiday theme thing. I just got an email right now that available, and I'm going to show this to everybody. It's up
news.
There. Where's our? I need to keep these things available at all times. That took too long. But anyway, breaking news. There it is, right there. The ugly Chrismica Mind of the Meanie sweater T-shirt. It's not a real sweater. It's just a T-shirt. Andy Slichter has outdone himself, and and I also want to thank Ryan over at Pro Wrestling Tees. They kind of have a rule that when they're in the middle of a sale, they do not upload new merchandise. And I had put this through, and I think a combination of how much he likes Meanie and how much he liked the shirt, he uploaded it. So it is there. So if you're listening to this on a Cyber Monday, go do. Everybody, I encourage you to go get this. This is it's a Mind of the Meanie. It's got the outlines of my face and Meanie's face. Got a bunch of snowflakes. We've got a Christmas tree. We have a Hanukkah menorah. The S, the BWO logo, and it says Altcom for alternative commentary. It's basically just I am buying this without question. It's just really cool. Andy did such an amazing job, because it's not just a print. If you look at the, I'll see if you can even see in the photo here, if I zoom in, it looks like stitching. All of the whole graphic there just looks like stitching. It is, you can kind of see it here. I'll just zoom in. There's my beautiful face. But you can just see, it's so, look at all that extra stitching for my eyebrows.
All the silkworms that had to work overtime to. There we go.
But it's great. He did such an amazing job. So thank you again, Andy Slichter, for that, for continuing to just bang out these incredible pieces of merchandise for us. So go on over to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie and check that out. And then, of course, what's that?
No, I'm just laughing. I'm popping for it. You showed it to me, and I was like, oh, of course. That's fucking fantastic.
He just did such an amazing job. There's nothing I love more than coming up with like a little idea, and you and I are like talking about ideas we come up with and sending it over to Andy and just seeing what he comes back with. Like that Big Guy shirt that is available now there as well.
Big Guy.
Yeah, Big Guy. It's just every detail.
So I was going to work with the guy. He's a big guy. I'm a big guy, and
but it's a red shirt with a Canadian, half the Canadian maple leaf on there. And if you look closely on it, there's also, it's like it looks like a yardstick. Like it's like, you have the little measurements there. So it's so cool.
So funny.
We got a lot of great merchandise over there. Some new stuff. And that's why I didn't want to just play our thing, because we need to update that. Maybe we'll update that for the new year, but we have the I'm a Parody Guy shirt, which is awesome. Somebody just bought one of our shirts. Why? Let's see. I knew it. James Sorensen. Oh, you know what James did? He went and bought the Carolina Blue ugly Chrismica crew neck pullover sweatshirt, because yes, if you're a Patreon member, you get exclusives and you can get the actual, it's as close to a sweater as we're going to get. It's a sweatshirt. Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man.
That
fucking pops me.
Thank you for feeding our families. But we also have over at, now everything that's on Pro Wrestling Tees is on Patreon and then some. You can get more than just a t-shirt. You can get multiple colors. You can get sweatshirts. You can get hats. You can get mugs. I believe there's actually a print available. Like you can get like a canvas print of that logo. But oh God, you can get a blanket. That's one that I kind of really want. The ugly Chrismica sweater, but in a blanket.
I definitely gotta get the mug.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the mug too. So we have the Box Spring Destroyer shirt, which is amazing. It is the Blue Meanie dropping an elbow on the bed here. We'll show that.
Actual shot.
Yeah, so cool. And then of course, I mean, so many different things. And we've had people asking for a John hat on our Patreon page. So that, if it's not up there already, is going to be up there.
It will be. Yeah.
So we'll just find out what kind of hat. I don't remember who asked for that, but yeah, so we have some great merch. And then of course, while you're at Pro Wrestling Tees, do yourself a favor and us by going over to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. Blue Meanie? Blue Meanie, right? Not yes. Blue Meanie BWO. Blue Meanie. That's your,
yeah.
/Blue
That's
Meanie.
my socials.
And check out some of the awesome merch he has over there. I know you got Slichter working on some new stuff for you too.
Yeah, he sent me a design last night, which I'll wait until I actually put it up. But
okay,
it's along the line of Christmas.
Yeah, and you didn't send it to me, you son of a.
Dude, I literally just got it
at like
3 a.m.
I sent you.
I'll show you to you right now.
No, it's fine. That's cool. No problem.
Stop it. Don't be a bitch. The BWO logo.
I can't see it. There you go.
God damn it.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's the BWO shirt, but the border is snowflakes, and like just like the Hanukkah shirt, there's like stitching in there. It's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. This delay's kind of killing me there, but yeah. Dude,
he has outdone himself.
I actually felt bad. I asked for permission to do that one, but it'll be up on the we'll put it up on the Patreon and stuff like that in the Pro Wrestling Tees.
You don't ever have to ask permission, Meanie. Ask forgiveness. But no.
I've had to do that plenty of times. Yeah.
I said to him, I'm like, hey, I think I may want like my own as well, kind of thing. So I don't know what he's working. I don't know what he's working on.
Do the So Says Shernoff logo.
Well, that's I was like, I don't know. Should I do this? Like the like how we have like the thing that really looks like an ugly, Christmas sweater, and I was trying to come up with ideas like what it could be, like if there could be some sort of like a quote on it or whatever. But now that I'm looking at that, like it absolutely should be like the S, the big So Says, and just say So Says Shernoff, and it should just be in that style. So I hope he hasn't worked really hard on something else, because.
We're giving fucking Slichter a fucking carpet tunnel over here.
Yeah,
with all the designs.
Yeah, seriously.
Get back to work. I was with the BWO one. Because we did the BWO invades Times Square on Christmas, and I forget what I think. Somebody went yo 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 and ho ho ho. It's the BWO or something. I was going to maybe put that on there, but I was like. You know what? That might be a little bit too busy for the design. Mm-hmm. So
This is just perfect because this is the winter/Christmas time BWO shirt. If you're a BWO fan and you you need this. Yeah. You absolutely need this. This is, to me, it's like the next evolution of the BWO with the barbed wire. You know?
Pretty much.
Like, that's what's so cool. Man, but
I know I'm going to have to send one to Louisville to Nova. So it's like...
What's that?
I know I'm going to have to send one of these down to Louisville to Supernova. So... And he's a fucking Cowboys fan.
And you're sending him Cowboys colors.
Yeah.
Which is like, then he's going to be like, oh, Meanie's finally converted over to the, and then, oh, can you print out maybe a picture of yourself giving him the middle finger and just put that under the shirt in the packaging?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Just so he doesn't get too comfortable.
No. I have friends who are Cowboys fans, and they're like, well, their colors are blue. I'm like, well, dude, if that's the point, I'll be a Colts fan.
Yeah.
I was going to do it strictly by color,
RJ says, Box Spring Destroyer shirt. I'll look in the mail for my royalty check, LOLJK, because he did actually come up with the idea behind that. And I want you to know, RJ, we take care of our people, so you will be receiving a thank you from us right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's good times. But no, thank you. We appreciate that. And I think it's when we sell, every 100,000 we sell, we give $10, I think.
Yeah, dude, we got to do we got the BWO. We did the commercial for the BWO shirt, and he's like, if you buy 2,300,000, whatever, it's like this big long number on a calculator, you get one for free.
Yeah.
So here's a little insight. Go back to the thing. We went up to film that promo at the TV studio in New York, which was at Ron Buffone's parents' house. I want to say it's Ron. There's Ron and Charlie. I forget whose parents. Actually, I think I want to say it's Ron Buffone's parents' house. But their TV studio was like the back porch area. And it was just like a editing bay and stuff like that. And we went up to film it. And we did the run through, and we're trying to think of ideas. And I was like, just like the running the Bulls of Pamplona, man, people are running out to get the BWO shirts and stuff like that. And I couldn't think of the running of the Bulls, and I was like, where's the thing? It's like Paulie's just staring at me, like, I'm just like, that thing with the Bulls and the. He's like, oh, the running of the Bulls of Pamplona. It's like, yeah. So like they were going over the other part of the. It wasn't a big room, but like Stevie's trying to think of his stuff, and I'm sitting at the editing bay with Ron Buffone. I'm like, he's like going through different like editing things, like, oh, we could do this, that, and the other thing. And he's like, there's this thing we've always wanted to try and work into a promo. We just can't think of the right thing. As a graphic just flashed on the screen, and just went, oh, wow. It just like in and out, and then just would go away. So I was like, oh my God. At the time, Stevie was talking about, if you get X amount of shirt, he's like 2 million, blah, 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 blah. And he says, you get one free. It's like when Stevie goes, one free, the whole room goes, wow. And he flashed the graphic on
awesome
like this on the screen. Wow. So for a little inside baseball, if you go to watch the BWO t-shirt commercial, when that happens, you hear Paulie, Tommy, me, Nova, Ron, Charlie. We're all the voices in the background going, wow! It's like this really cool thing. Like every time I see it, I laugh hysterically because like they're just dying for this an excuse to use this wow graphic. I was like, oh, here's your perfect time to use the wow graphic. And then, that was that. That commercial was so much fun. You talk about regrets, man. One of my things I wish I'd done. I wish I'd gone up to the TV studio a lot more just to learn the behind the scenes stuff and stuff like that. I learned a lot, watching Paul do promos at the arena and stuff like that, but to actually watch those guys sit and put a show together, which would have been a lot cool. Yeah, it would have been way cool. But then Christmas is coming upon us.
Christmas is upon us.
We went up to New York and did BWO Takes Over Times Square, which they played Elvis's Blue Christmas in the background, and we're doing all these different things. And Nova was conspicuous by his absence in this one because he had a wedding to go to or something like that. It's like the best man in the wedding. I was like, dude, come on.
Now, first of all, I don't buy that for 1 second.
Yeah, he's probably at a Cowboys game or something. Yeah. But it was so cool. We did a whole bunch of different things. We're walking around Times Square in half shirts, Daisy Dukes, and we got a film crew. And it's like people didn't even bat an eyelash.
No.
They're just like, oh.
You got a naked cowboy. I mean, you guys are in clothing still.
We were overdressed.
Yeah.
The cool thing is, like, we were walking along, and there's a street performer, Santa Claus.
Oh, I've heard of him.
What's that?
I've heard of him.
I don't know if this is the same guy.
No, I'm kidding. Santa Claus. I'm joking.
Well, no, it's like, talk about the, singing cowboy. I didn't know if there's like this new Santa Claus that was like the rage or whatever. I don't know. But this guy comes up to us. He goes, I want to be on TV. We're like, oh, you want to be on TV, huh? And he's like insistent that he wants to be a part of our show. And he doesn't know what we are. He just wants to be a part of it. So we're like, all right. Can you take a Stevie kick? And this random guy on the street, we're like, and like we walk him through the whole thing of the kick. So awesome. We film and we're like, me and Stevie are walking through like, yo ho ho, Merry Christmas, people, and then Santa Claus comes up and goes, BWO, and then me and Stevie both at the same time yell, shut up, and then Stevie backs up and gives him a Stevie kick, and the guy does a full ST plunge bump on concrete, and we're like, oh my God, he's dead. Like the guy had no fear. He just went for it. I was like, I swear to God, I thought we were going to have to put a chalk outline around this dude. So he kicks him, boom. And the one that aired was the second take.
Oh, wow.
Because we had to do it again for some other reason.
Fun.
And like the guy gets up and goes, oh, thank you. And we didn't even like pay him to do it. He just wanted to be on TV.
Yeah, Santa is paid in the smiles of children, their laughter.
And then there's another gimmick where like there's this guy singing on the street corner. He's got like a little boom box, little mic. He's, a day or two ago, he's singing whatever that song. And me and Stevie, the camera, Ron and Charlie put their camera on the guy. Yeah,
it's called Jingle Bells, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
CTE, brother. And like Ron and Charlie frame the shot. Paulie frames the shot. They look like some random news crew just filming this guy sing. And then me and Nova run in full BWO gear. And like Stevie grabs the mic and goes, ECW, BWO, BWO. And the guy's whole boombox system falls over and stops playing. We're just like, we look at each other like, oh shit, and just run out of frame. That whole thing was like a total shoot. He's like, we run into the shot, guys. Oh, a couple of Santa's helpers here, and we're like in half shirts and Daisy Dukes with the BWO shirt. ECW, BWO, and the thing falls over, and we're like, oh. And Stevie for shoot goes, oh shit, and they had to bleep that out, and we run out of frame and stuff like that. It's just crazy. We went down to where they ice skate, and we're like
by Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, right. We're at Rockefeller Center.
30 Rock. It's easier to say it that
30
way.
Rock.
Yeah.
And they're filming, and we're in front of the tree and all that stuff. Freezing fucking cold. Half shirt Daisy Dukes, and it was a cool time. Just like thinking about, all that stuff, brought back so many memories and stuff like that. So
that's awesome. But yeah. Circling back to your merchandise, man, definitely get that BWO shirt. I think I'm gonna have to get that one. That's a good one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, hey, do you want to go to a quick commercial, and then when we come back, we can ask Meanie anything?
Sounds like a plan.
Let's do it. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. If you want in on the best wrestling tees in the business, Homage has you covered. All the styling, profiling, limousine riding looks from the rings of yesterday and today in super soft fabric and comfortable fits you can't get enough of.
Yeah, that's right, man. I've been a fan of Homage for years. I've been wearing their shirts for years. Everything from pro wrestling to pop culture. And, dude, I get so many reactions out and about in the wild when I'm wearing my Dusty Rhodes shirt, or I'm wearing I'm a Funker shirt, or my old school ECW shirt. Homage makes shirts that are comfortable and stylish and definitely retro, which is the thing I've loved about them for years.
Mind of the Meanie listeners, you can use the coupon code MEANIE for 20% off your first purchase at homage.com. That's HOMAGE.com.
Ooh, yeah, the homage.com. Freak out! Freak out! Freak out!
All right. We have a lot of
food
ask
babies.
Meanie things here. Yeah, this is a lot. So
Shit,
we're gonna try and get through. I know we could have gone to this earlier. We're gonna try to get through these as many as we possibly can, while also encouraging our Patreon members. So Meanie, are you ready?
Oh, I am totally ready.
Let's do it.
It's time to ask me anything.
All right. Oh my.
One more time.
All right.
It's time to ask me anything.
Okay.
I'm 47 years old laughing at that.
All right. Let's see what we got here. James from that 90s wrestling writes, what was Ryan Shamrock like to work with?
She was cool, man. She was like 19 at the time, 19, 20.
Yeah, she was.
But, yeah. She was nice. Super cool chick. Down to earth. No preconceived anything. I don't know where she came, what world she came from, or like if they found her in a modeling catalog or whatever. But
dude, I was a 14-year-old young boy at the time, and maybe 15.
Yeah,
but I did not oppose to watching her on my screen.
No.
So didn't know where she came from, didn't know what her purpose really was, but was happy to have her there. But she was cool.
Awesome. There's a great photo from WrestleMania 15 where me and her were fighting for Goldust's affection.
Yeah, well, you had your shirt was like her in the background, right? With you like
my WrestleMania 15 thing. I'm cuddling up the Goldust. I'm giving her like the pie face to knock her back. Get to the curb.
The Dingbat Returns writes, was there ever a piece of wrestling merchandise or memorabilia you always wanted to own?
Oh my God. I just saw somebody fucking had an ECW nightlight that sold out. I was mad I didn't get a chance to fucking buy.
Oh, wow.
My friend Jeremiah bought one. I was like, I'm so fucking jealous. Piece of wrestling merchandise. I wish I was still a fan, and I wish the replica belt thing was a thing when I was a fan. I know people, shun people, for buying wrestling, replica belts. And I don't understand why, but like when I was a kid, we had the foam belts, the foam wrestling belts. And they were,
see what they have today compared to that.
Oh my God. I wish they had that back then.
Yeah.
I'm kind of mad that not mad, sad. I never got to go to Japan to get a Ribera jacket, which it's like a rite of passage if you're a pro wrestler. Go over to Japan, get your jacket. I've seen people buy them, and it's like, it's still not the same. But as wrestling merchandise, I think as a kid, I pretty much got every piece of wrestling merchandise there was. If there's anything I'd like to get again, as a collector, maybe like the British Bulldog 2-pack tag team set or something like that. I was always a big fan of, the British Bulldogs and stuff like that. But as a fan, as a kid, I think I pretty much got everything. I got the WWE figures, got the AWA figures, I got the WCW figures, stuff like that. So if there's one, it'd be hard. I don't know. I know they did a reissue of the wrestling album on a record store day a couple years ago. I wish I would have been able to grab that. Because me and Mrs. Meanie are into collecting vinyl now. We're buying a lot of records.
Nice.
Because we got 2 record players now, so we can.
That's
we
awesome.
got one up. We got one in this room that a friend gave us, and I got downstairs. I got like a cabinet. It's like a record player, but it's like
That's
a
very
huge
cool.
piece of furniture. It's like 8 feet long, speaker on each side. One side's radio, one side's the record player, and I wish I would have got like the wrestling album or any kind of wrestling vinyl, So that's my answer for that.
We're gonna have some fun with for people who are watching on video. We're gonna get to drag these in. So, you see that? RJ Krasinski writes, I forgot to ask Meanie for this week, but here you go. Why is farting funny?
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
That's my question. That's my answer.
You here.
Farts are.
Let me play something for you, and you tell me. What's not funny about that?
No, that's the mildest I've done.
The fact that little sound that's barely even a dog and its squeak toy, that is that came from the Meanie. That in and of itself is funny.
So authentic.
James Sorensen writes, well, let's drag you over here, James. James Sorensen writes, are you more of a fan of McDonald's or Burger King?
I used to be a fan of Burger King, but I have to say I'm more of a McDonald's guy. I used to think like I used to think Burger King was like more authentic. Meanwhile, they're probably in the back with stencils putting on the grill marks or whatever. I don't know. One time, I was at Al's. Me and a couple students went to. I don't even know if I should tell this fucking story, but we went to Spring Stampede, WCW in Chicago.
Mm.
So we're driving back, and we're in Plymouth, Indiana. You pull over, like, let's get something to eat. And there's, middle of Indiana, there's really not, there's like a Burger King open. We're like, let's pull over, let's get some Burger King, right? Mm-hmm. So it's weird. Like the town kind of smelled like horse shit.
Mm. Maybe there was like a plant of some sort or something where they were.
Yeah. Because, like, if you drive through Pennsylvania, all you smell, like, on a good winter's day, like, all you smell is, like, horse shit, Yeah. Driving through Pennsylvania. But we're driving through Indiana into town. We're like, man, something smells like shit. And then, like, we go to Burger King, and we get our sandwiches, and they were, like, the worst fucking sandwiches ever made. Like, it was, like, runny, the mayonnaise is, like, I don't know. They put on the mayonnaise. So we're just like eating it, just to eat it, just to have something to fucking go by. And we're getting ready to leave. So like, let's go to the bathroom before we get back on the road. It was like a back road. It wasn't like a highway. It's like in Philly, how you have, 302 or something like that. Yeah, just random, like, there's stoplights and all that stuff, and we're just going through.
Sean Jones says you must have been in Gary, Indiana.
No, this was Plymouth, because I remember, yes, definitely Plymouth, Indiana, which it could have been near Gary.
Yeah, I don't know. Ask Gary.
But,
where is he?
But anyway,
fuck you, Gary.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, it's called a callback.
Yeah. You definitely fucking popped me. I'm mad I was on the mental delay. Fucking Gary. So I was like, let's hit the bathroom before we fucking leave, right? Mm-hmm. And we're young, dumb, whatever. I go to the bathroom, come out. And it's me and the two kids from Canada, Sean and Jeff. And Jeff, who back then, I used to rib him because he looked like Dr. Tom Pritchard. Yeah? We would call him Dr. Tom. He had you know how early Tom Pritchard had the
curly mullet?
He looked like him.
Wow.
Like me and Al will call him Dr. Tom. And he's standing outside the bathroom. He's reading the nutritional chart.
Don't do that.
Probably a bad idea.
Don't ever do that.
And I don't know what possessed me to fucking do this. But I put one knuckle to my nostril and I blew a fucking snot rocket on the fucking nutritional chart. And
you must be... You're a pleasant one to hang out with.
I'm 20. I'm fucking stupid. 2021. It's fucking first day. I'm nowhere near home. I have no parents to go, oh, don't do that. I'm like a free spirit. And I'm mad at the fact that everything smells like horse shit. I just ate the worst fucking sandwich of my life, and my stomach's fucking turned. All of us were like, oh, this is fucking horrible. Mm-hmm. So I go up, and it was like fucking Spider-Man just shot a web on the fucking glass. So,
dude, there's some things that I can't, like, I have a trouble, like when my kids need to blow their nose, like there's stuff that like I have to bring my wife in for. That's that's my version of feet for you. Like I can't, oh God.
There you go. Fucking, dude, I had a kid. I was friends with these two brothers when I was a kid. One was Conky and one was Jeffrey. Conky and Jeffrey. And fucking Jeffrey, I'd be talking to him and fucking a booger just like snot. I was like, dude, sniffle. Like I'm the same age as him. We're like 8. I'm like, dude, just fucking go.
Yep.
I would keep it. It's like, do you like have like? It's like
no, like how do you not know that that's dripping down there?
Yeah.
Is there nerve damage on your upper lip? Like what is the how are you not aware of this?
Dude, go like this. And it would go away. And anyway, I do that to the fucking gimmick. I'm not proud of this, by the way. I was an asshole for doing it. But Jeff saw that and was like, oh no. And it like the combination of the smell of fucking shit, the sandwich, and then I do that. He runs out to the fucking parking lot and starts throwing up all over the fucking parking lot. Swear to God.
Oh,
and it was like,
man after my own heart.
Dude, it was like, when somebody sees a dead body in a movie and they're like running out of the parking lot and they're like dropping to a knee, getting back up, dropping to the other knee, and they're clutching their stomach. And
oh my God. Dude, I don't blame them. That would get me.
So I'm laughing as hard as possibly because, I'm laughing like me hearing the meanie fart, right? I'm like, ha! And we go outside and the fucking smell fucking hits us, the smell. Meanwhile, there's like maybe like a Kmart parking lot, the next plaza over, and there's just people hanging out listening to the radio. Like a bunch of pickup trucks.
Not worried at
all. Tailgating. Yeah. What else is there to do in Plymouth, Indiana?
Yeah.
So they're just like over there. And here comes Jeff running out of the fucking Burger King going, blah, 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 blah. I come out and Sean, Jeff's buddy from Canada, he saw him puking and he starts puking.
It's like South Park.
It's like the pie eating contest from fucking Stand By Me when the guy, when fat ass purposely drank the fucking.
Or not South Park. I'm sorry.
that-
Family Guy is what I was thinking. Family Guy.
Yeah.
When they're all throwing.
Oh, Epicac. Yeah, oh yeah. It was
Yeah.
just like Epicac. So Jeff's puking. Sean sees that and goes, oh no.
Oh, God.
I'm laughing at both of them, and I start fucking ralphing. So it's like this trifecta.
Wait, were you throwing up from laughing too hard?
Throwing up, the smell of shit, and eating that fucking horrible fucking burger or whatever the fuck I ate. It's like, I
The
looked
trifecta.
outside my eye, and there's the people over at the parking lot that were tailgating just are looking at us like, like they're in this, like, these three guys are laughing and puking all over this fucking Burger King parking lot.
Good God.
So the next day, I mean, we got home late, and we normally
I'm like I'm yawning because I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I'm not kidding. I really like right now. It's giving me like
So, dude, it was bad.
This
It's like,
is not good. Oh,
you know,
oh,
it had constellations in it and everything. Fucking.
get my emphysema laugh.
The fat cat laugh. That's what I get. So we get back to Lima, and the sun's just coming up, and we're like, normally we would have like a workout session on a Sunday, and we're like, there's no way. So we go to Al's house, and we leave a note on his door. Hey Al, we can't work out today. Long drive from Chicago. We threw up in Plymouth, Indiana. And that's how we ended it. We ended it with
we threw up.
we threw up in Plymouth, Indiana. Tell you more later. And like, needless to say, we didn't work out that day. But oh my God, yeah, Burger King, nah.
Yeah. So yeah. Long story short, you're more of a McDonald's guy these days.
Yeah.
Oh man. Darren Allen, no relation to Darby. That I know of. Darren, at Darren Keepsakes, has actually 3 questions here, but I found all of them, they kind of like blend together, and I found them all interesting. So he writes, in 2000, you were released from WWE, but during that period, you got in great shape, probably about 250. You were quicker and arguably more aggressive. If you'd been allowed to run with it, do you think that Meanie would have stayed comedic or been more serious?
Probably been a little bit more serious. Depends on what creative had for me. Like I said, I was trying that new character. I was trying to be like the guy from Smash Mouth meets the what was the fucking movie? The movie Swingers. Yeah, that was a popular movie at the time. Vince Vaughn. They were the swing dancing movie or whatever. They were into bowling shirts and kind of cool, kind of, whatever, hip guys. And I was trying to grow out my beard like the dude from Smash Mouth. He had the same kind of vibe. Who knows what that would have turned into? WWE was, doing the realistic characters with like, Godfather being a pimp and all that stuff. I could have been like the guy working the nightclub, Godfather freaking with it. I was the guy who controlled the list of who gets in. Or
yeah, you could have been working at one of those ropes.
Yeah, the velvet rope,
and just
like a premiere. Yeah,
open it up for him to walk.
Hanging out with Janet Jackson at the velvet rope. But yeah, it could have been more of a serious character or not. Yeah. Who knows? It was just that's the beginning stages of me trying to find a character, and then when I went back to ECW. Paul ran it with it where we're still kind of comedic.
So that brings us into his next part of the question with the Blue Boy gimmick. Although you did the obnoxious heel well, it wasn't very meanie and died out. Did you think that the Blue Boy would have been a bigger hit in either WWE or WCW rather than ECW based on the gimmick style?
Again, it's what they allow me to do.
I mean, WCW, they would have put anything on TV in that era.
Yeah.
So, they would have let you just try it. I actually could have seen it being successful in WCW.
Because I tried to go back to ECW as the Blue Meanie, and Paul was like, "Oh, we don't look like the Meanie."
Yeah.
So I come up with this. I was just emailing him ideas left and right, and he came up with the idea for the Blue Boy, which is along the lines, kind of like what I was trying to do, before when I was in Memphis. It was just an opportunity. Yeah, I probably would. I could have done it in WCW as well. Again, WCW was in such a fucking disarray at that time. Who knows?
His last question here didn't really have anything to do with that, but it's also just kind of fun. Dream tag team partner that you have never teamed with previously?
Shit. I always wanted to do a 6-man tag with the Headbangers.
Yeah.
That never came. I think that would have been a good trio.
I think we talked about that before. We need to book that somewhere.
Yeah. I always wanted to do a 6-man with the Headbangers because, similar face paint, stuff like that. I'm friends with them. Glenn Ruth, a.k.a. Thrasher, he ran my tryout, the Monster Factory, when I tried out the Monster Factory.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I did try out the Monster Factory the day after WrestleMania 8, the one that was in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I found out through Meltzer sheet that they were having an open tryout.
Oh.
And I drove down there with my grandfather.
I can't believe that it was true.
What's that?
Well, you saw it in Meltzer's thing, so I couldn't.
Oh, yeah. So I called the Monster Factory, heard the message, drove down, and it was like me and maybe 8 other guys did the tryout. I got there super early, and there's a guy who opened up the gym, and I got to roll around, or mess around in the ring, not roll around because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. He's like, "Do you know how to bump?" I was like, "Of course I do." Of course I didn't. And I was, started taking some bumps, bumping around a little bit, and then Larry and Dennis Corluzzo came in, and Thrasher was there, and they were talking about WrestleMania the day before. And they had us do all the stuff all right, this is taking a bump. And, they did the stages of bumps, I did those. They had me hit the ropes, stuff like that. So out of the 8 guys, maybe me and one other guy got called in the office. All right, thank you guys for coming out. You, I want to talk to you guys. It was me and one other guy. And me and my grandfather went in and had a meeting. We talked to Larry Sharp. And he gives us the rundown. And then we're like, okay, thank you. We'll be in touch. And it's never came to be. In that time, I had become, a fan of Dean Malenko. And I was thinking about going to Dean Malenko's. And then we've talked about that to where it's instead of going to Malenko's, the woman who I was talking to at Malenko School told me about Al School, and cost of living and all that stuff was way cheaper at Al's, and it looks like I made the right choice.
I think so. Well, just a quick one here. Travis writes,
Sure.
Ever lit a fart on fire? I believe they call it a blue angel.
Nah, just I don't know.
Hey,
Never thought to do it.
Got to save something for the live show. James Sorensen writes, if ECW had a Hall of Fame, who inducts BWO? So, we've talked so long about ECW getting representation in the WWE Hall of Fame. Long deserved and overdue. Who inducts the BWO?
That's a great question. Maybe I would say Bubba Ray Dudley. Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
Because me, how you think you had an idea for a while, and then somebody else said they also had the idea. We kind of had the idea of doing a parody of the NWO, but like he had an idea and I had an idea, and then somehow I think it meshed together.
Very
He wanted
cool.
to be like the new Blue Worlder. I was like, nah, Blue Worlder. So I mean, either way, somehow we were joking around about that. So
Okay.
I think Bubba would do it.
Very nice.
know?
What if it was you, just you on your own being inducted?
Oh, it would have to be Al Snow.
Okay. That's what
because
I'd have to imagine.
he trained me. He was in ECW as well.
And if Al
kinda
was
cool how,
if Al was unavailable, would it be Raven?
Yeah. I mean, that would be entertaining induction. And Raven was very kind of saying the nice things about me on Twitter last week that we had talked about. Yeah, definitely Raven. And
if Raven's unavailable, would it be me? That question comes from me. Okay. Okay, so we've got let's do some more here. Buck Lorenz. I wanted to say Buck Lorenzo, but Buck Lorenz. Who is your favorite in-ring partner / opponent?
Like tag partner?
Yeah. No, like sexual partner. Yeah, tag partner. Could be.
It would have to be Nova.
Okay.
Just because Nova brought up my level of working.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a certain level when I got to ECW, and he brought up he brought out confidence in me that I had like I was doing independence before ECW. You get to ECW and you're there with so many talented people. You're like, oh man, do I belong? And Nova's like, fuck, dude, let's do this. And Nova brought up my level of work. That like I think if I hadn't left ECW, I think we eventually would have had the tag belts. Because we were having really good matches. And there was like my last match at the arena, 6-man, me, Nova, and Chetty. I guess Roadkill, Doring, and Big Vito. He wasn't Big Vito at the time, though. Skull Von Crush.
Little Vito.
Yeah. And we had the match, and we hit the finisher. It was like a Nova Frog Splash, Chetty leg drop, me do the moonsault 1, 2, 3, and Randy, the sound guy, who was our buddy, he was like kind of our confidant. He was on the headsets, and he said, "Paulie said, oh, they fucking did it again." Had like one of the best matches on the show.
I didn't know if you meant like in a negative way. No,
in a good way. He's like, oh, they fucking did it again. Like we were having like a series of really good matches. I think if I hadn't left, we would have had a run with the ECW with tag belts. But
I wouldn't be surprised.
There was a time where
I'm more surprised that you never did, to be honest. But
there was a moment where they were going to put them on me and Stevie, and for whatever reason that never materialized.
Look, there was a lot of talent.
It was talked
in the tag
about.
Team division there. That's the thing. So it's when you're looking at some of the former tag champions from ECW that were there during that time period. It's tough. Well, how do you want to put it on you? But you got all these different people here. So, I mean, I understand it, but I'm going to ask this question because I know the answer to it, and I think it's important to just kind of clear the air here. Joel MW at Y2 Jolico. I get it. Y2 Jolico. How much money does Paul Heyman still owe you?
Nothing.
There you go. I just wanted to bring that up.
Even if he did, he doesn't.
Rusty Shackleford writes, if the universe is so big, why won't it fight me? That popped me, so I wanted to share that.
Good question. That's entertaining. That was very entertaining.
Yes. Mike P. at Iron Mike Park. You are known to be a big Eddie Van Halen fan.
Absolutely.
Do you play guitar?
Horribly. No, I tried. Tried playing guitar. My grandfather got me one for Christmas. Nope. Then I was like, I suck at guitar. Let me try bass. Not, nope. And then I forget what year it was in high school. I actually tried to take like a music class. It's like maybe somebody could teach. And it's like other people in the music class were well into music way before I was, and
yeah,
I was like, nope.
That was always my thing with playing, like, because when I was in a band in high school, I didn't play guitar. I didn't start learning until I was like 21 or so, and and I always kicked myself about it because had I started learning when I was like 12, I mean, there's something I think your brain, there's only so much you can learn when you're starting in your 20s. I feel like you could learn so much more. And that's why, like, I'm hoping as soon as my kids are old enough, like we already have them doing different music classes. And I've been trying to teach piano to my daughter, but she really just wants to play her own stuff. But like, you know, they can learn so much easier and so much quicker at a younger age. So yeah, I always kicked myself about that because, you know, I felt like by the time I was 30, I was, you know, I was a decent guitar player, but man, had I started when I was, you know, preteen, I could have been really good. You know, I could have been a contender.
While the brain's still developing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and pre my wrestling career where the brain took a beating. But all right, another question here. At Johnny Rassel. Hey Johnny, one wrestler that you never got to see live that you wish you could have.
Oh wow. Oh. So I've seen a lot of shit. Oh man. That's a good question. Maybe you know who? Buzz Sawyer. I'd love to have seen Buzz Sawyer in person. I was a huge Buzz Sawyer fan. He was fucking crazy. Him and like Buzz Sawyer and Rick Steiner were like the perfect tag team. And he was a legit shooter. Came up in the Florida territories, stuff like that. But I started seeing him in Bill Watts UWF. Then eventually went to WCW. First time I saw him was WWE. He came in for one TV taping and that was it. But I'd known him from the After Mags. But I'd never gotten a chance to see him in person. And I would probably, he had like one of the best fucking power slams where a guy would go to leapfrog him and he would catch the guy out of the leapfrog and just fucking power slam him.
Yeah. I've seen video of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, totally. Mad Dog Buzz Sawyer. I would have loved to have seen him.
Mark in Dryden, at Mark Matsuo, fantasy booking time. If ECW invaded Nitro instead of Raw in 97, book what would have happened and who else that wasn't on the episode of Raw would be on Nitro to make it an effective, impactful invasion.
Well, certainly the BWO would have faced off with the NWO.
Yeah.
He definitely would have had Shane there facing off with Flair. You know, all the times that, you know, Shane Douglas called out Ric Flair, called him Dick Flair and all that stuff and called him out. They could have had that final, you know. I don't know if they faced off when he eventually went there in 2000.
If they did, it wasn't memorable because I don't remember it either.
But in the heat of ECW's prime years against WCW and during the Monday Night Wars, I would definitely like to see, you know, franchise Shane Douglas versus Ric Flair. Who else would we have had? Well, here's where things are getting a little blurry because some guys actually went, like Lance Storm went to WCW eventually. You know, see Candido and Storm against well, it's also hard to say who, you know, from WCW because it seemed like everybody joined NWO at one point. You know, it seemed like there was like.
So it would have just been the BWO leading the ECW roster to face the NWO.
Pretty much. It would probably have been ECW against NWO because everybody got tired of getting beaten up by the NWO, so they joined the NWO. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I definitely would have liked to have done something with Hugh Morris, too. because I think we had similar characters. You know, he inspired me to do Moonsault, and the Laughing Man was kind of like sort of like the Blue Meanie.
Yeah, there was definitely, when you mentioned that, there's definitely some similarities there for sure.
Yeah.
Coming from Patreon, Anthony Camarada, I love the stories Meanie has about Johnny K9. Has he talked to the guys at Dark Side of the Ring, or is that something he can't talk about yet? Does he have any more stories about Johnny K9? So I guess he's asking, do you know if Dark Side of the Ring is going to be doing a episode on Johnny K9? You've pitched it to them?
I pitched it, yeah.
Okay.
Like when I heard there was going to be a season 2, season 3,
Season 3, they have even more episodes to fill. So
I slid into their DMs. I don't even know what I've told so far. I mean, there's a story when Johnny K9 was riding his motorcycle. Some lady blew a fucking red light, and he fucking hit the fucking side of the car and flipped over the car onto the ground. And the lady gets out and goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You okay?" And he's fucking crawling like the fucking Terminator on the ground. "You fucking bitch! I'm gonna kill you!" And the woman who fucking caused the accident calls in the cops because she's scared of him. You know, "You motherfucker! I'm gonna kill you!" He's like crawling like the fucking Terminator. Dude, he would fucking be in fucking Smoky Mountain, and it didn't matter what time of year. He was in shorts, a tank top, and flip-flops. Could be the dead of fucking winter. And he's wearing some kind of muscle shirt, shorts, flip-flops. Walk into fucking, if the flip-flops he was wearing, like, worn down, need a new pair of flip-flops. Walk into fucking Walmart, kick off his flip-flops, throw in a new pair of flip-flops on the ground, put his feet in those, do the thing where his feet goes, boink, and bring that little plastic thing, start walking out of the store, and the lady goes, "Sir, you got to pay for it." He goes, "Sandy said it was okay." And he keep walking. Sandy Scott, the fucking booker for Smoky Mountain Wrestling. You go, "Sandy says it's okay." And he would keep walking. Nobody would fucking question him.
Oh, man.
"Hey, buddy. Hey, bro. Hey, buddy. Hey, you. You looking at my hoop? You looking at my ass? My ass is getting hot. Well, you put your hand in my back pocket. Now you're my bitch." He would quote Scared Straight, Me, you naked.
You need to join our Patreon to see Meanie just put on a mustache with his finger here.
"Hey, buddy. Hey, bro." There's some things I can't even repeat that he would say, but
I'm sure.
"Hey, buddy. Hey, bro. You a 6-plate man? You a 6-plate man? How much you lift? Bullshit. You're a bitch." You looking at my hoop? Which meant, "Are you looking at my asshole or looking at my ass?" He would call his asshole his hoop, and he would call his dick Bobo. His dick was Bobo, and he would smoke a cigarette with his dick and put sunglasses on his dick in the locker room. It's not like I was pecker checking; he would just do it. I mean,
it's not like I was pecker checking.
I was a pecker checking. It's like when New Jack whipped his dick out in the locker room, you had no fucking choice but to see it. The lights went out. The room dimmed. Fucking whipping out that fucking snake, that python.
Oh,
yeah, but
man.
And Johnny's uncircumcised, so it's fucking gross.
Oh.
It's just it's like a fucking anteater. Anteater smoking a fucking cigarette. "Hey, buddy, say hi to Bobo." Love Bobo. Respect Bobo. Yeah, Bobo. Bobo was over, I guess.
Travis.
I wish fucking Balls Mahoney was still alive. Balls Mahoney did the best Johnny K9 impersonation because they were in Smoky Mountain together when he was Boo Bradley.
Travis,
"Hey, buddy, bro."
Travis has a follow-up here. Was Johnny Canadian, or did he eventually move to Canada to avoid the law?
Oh, he's Canadian.
Okay.
Fucking dude blew up a fucking police station in Canada.
Yeah, we've...
And they just put him in a halfway house, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you blew up our fucking police station.
Well, they didn't have a police station to put him in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. What's the best way to stay out of jail? Blow up the jail.
Yeah. He was a scary dude, man. Thank God he liked me.
Yeah.
Like, he beat the shit out of me, but not in a way that it's just like, that might have just been him working. Who knows? Yeah. Nah. He worked. Like, I know Al worked him a lot. Al Snow worked him a lot. Said he was, snug but safe. But that time, he just fucking, I think I found more photos of that fucking match. Yeah. There's video of it somewhere. I want to get that show because that show, that was like Rhino's first match too.
Maybe we can get the video of that and we can do it as a watch along. I'm
sure I'll hit up Scott D'Amore. It was Scott D'Amore's show, so I got to hit him up for see if he has it.
Hey, I hit up Al Snow, remember, for my matches, and he told me, he said we had to destroy them because it was making all of our talent feel bad that they could never reach the level of success in the ring. All right, everybody's asking on our Patreon here for a backstory to the to blowing up the police station. We've talked about this on the show before, but since I can barely commit the last 5 seconds to memory, I don't know what episode that was. So, Meanie, just a brief backstory.
I don't even. Sean Oliver, not Sean Oliver. Oh my God, guy from Kano Wrestling in Canada did an article on it. He did an article on Johnny Canine. Let me look up. Let me see.
So
see, I mean, he was a part of a biker gang, and like murder for hire type shit too. So
I'm trying to Google it too, see if there's a.
Let me see, Slam Wrestling.
Okay. Okay, we seem to have.
I hate that. I can't think of his name.
Okay, so it's in his.
Greg Oliver.
So he was in Satan's Choice Motorcycle Gang.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. He had a history of run-ins with the police. Many of his legal problems came while he was president of the Hamilton, Ontario chapter of Satan's Choice Outlaw Motorcycle Club. He was arrested for trafficking cocaine and served 10 months in prison. Soon after, he was convicted of assault and was given a sentence of 7 months. He encountered more problems on December 15th, 1996, when he and several friends from Satan's Choice were kicked out of a strip club for wearing their gang's colors. To get revenge, he and his friends planned to blow up the strip club. They changed their minds, however, and decided to bomb the local police station instead.
Yeah.
Because why not? I mean, Those are the only two logical options.
These are horrible things, but if you know Johnny.
The bomb caused $133,000 in damages to the Sudbury, Ontario police station and a nearby bank, and injured a police officer, which is not funny. No. He and two friends were arrested and charged, but the trial did not begin until almost 2 years later. While he was awaiting trial for the bombing, the Hamilton branch of Satan's Choice was shut down after an informant gave the police information about the gang's involvement with drug dealing and extortion. The gang's clubhouse was confiscated, and the club's national leadership decided to disband the Hamilton chapter. He got in a fight in Hamilton with another former Satan's Choice member on January 13th, 1998. A police officer saw him punch the other man in the face and arrested him for assault. In addition to assault charges, he was charged with extortion from an unrelated incident, as well as carrying a concealed weapon and breaking the conditions of his release following the police station bombing. In September 1998, he was brought to trial for his role in the bombing. He was convicted and sentenced to 33 months in prison. Kenneth Murdoch, a hitman, has claimed that he was hired by the Misitano crime family to kill Johnny Canine, but instead chose to spare his life. And then the next thing on Wikipedia is murder accusations, but we'll try to end that on a high note. But
he was like he was legit.
Yeah.
But he
as
also
legit as a guy like that can be, I'm sure.
He held like bench press. I mean, like he was fucking strong. He held up. Not that I'm praising a fucking murderer, but I mean he's such a character. He held like deadlift records, like behind the head press. He could do behind the head press 500 pounds, maybe.
Man,
like boom, 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 boom. Hey, buddy, hey, bro, how many plates you lift? Huh? You know.
Sean Jones pointed out that Satan's Choice sounds like a great coffee,
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I was thinking
good.
that too. It's a very intimidating coffee.
Yeah.
I'd almost say make a shirt, but I don't want to get fucking whacked either.
I know, right? No, we're gonna stay away from any shirts about Satan's Choice. So there is a place called Anne's Choice, pretty in the surrounding area of where I live, and it's basically an assisted living facility. So while I'm reading Satan's Choice, I'm like, this is the polar opposite of Anne's Choice.
There's a great band from the 90s. There's a great band from the 90s called Kay's Choice. They had like a one-hit wonder called Not an Addict, but, you know.
Oh, man.
Again, the total opposite of Satan's Choice.
Hey,
buddy. Hey, bro.
So,
you a 5-plate man? Put your hand in my back pocket. Put your hand in my back pocket. You're my bitch.
All right, so last one here. Last question comes from Suds McStash. Life of... What is his full thing? At Life of a Mustache. What's your best one or two Shane Douglas stories? You just mentioned Shane earlier, and I thought, how apropos.
Meanie, cut my music. Waiter, my French fries are cold.
That him or Vince?
No, we would call him the French fries because he always had that fart voice like Vince.
He had
I always
what?
called it like a fart voice, like, like, waiter, my French fries are cold. Cut my fucking music.
Yep.
The French fries are cold. Shane Douglas stories. Big River. Yeah, he was just a big river. Like, and I apologize if I told this story before. We were in Orange County, New York, at they had done shows at the Orange County Fairgrounds. Orange County, where Orange County Choppers are from, the motorcycle guys. But we were doing a show, and like there was like an arena, and then there's like a thing where they kept horses or something weird.
You said this is in New York?
Upstate New York.
I just thought Orange County was in California.
There is an Orange County. There's two. You can have multiple. There's
no, but I thought where the bikers were. I thought was in California.
I think they're New York.
Okay.
But
fact check us.
Yeah, please.
Look it up.
I give a shit. Yeah, I give a shit. Anyway, we were doing a show and it's fucking freezing cold, and they had like one of those fucking heaters in the fucking dressing room that looked like a fucking jet engine. It's shooting fucking flames out like this long tubular thing. So I'm walking around and I was trying to stay warm, and fucking Shane took my fucking chair and put it right in front of the fucking heater.
Yeah.
And I didn't even notice. Like I just walked over to my chair, sat down, and within a second I'm fucking jumping straight up like, what the fuck? Like my ass is like burning, my back and my legs are burning and stuff like that. And I turn around, looking over, go easily in the corner like, ha 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 ha. There was I tell the story.
By the way,
about
Orange County is in New York. You're correct. I've honestly never seen the show other than like little clips here and there. So I just assumed, because they're barely ever wearing full shirts, I just assumed that they were in New York, but or in LA.
if you own the Great American Bash DVD for '05 that the BWO wrestled the Mexicools on,
Mm-hmm.
BWO did a parody of Orange County Choppers, where like Nova played the dad, I played the dumb brother, and Stevie played the other brother.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like DVD exclusive or something like that. But yeah, we did a parody of it was the BWOCC.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's on the DVD. We'll have to fucking find it, rip it or whatever, put it up. I don't think they're gonna sue for that bit.
You want a BWOCC t-shirt?
Hey, why not?
Slichter?
Yeah, Slichter. I think I already have the artwork, by the way. Anyway.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's fuck it. Let's put it out. They ain't suing for that. Yeah. Like, if I could get my hands on the fucking Blair Witch, the Blonde Bitch Project, I'll put that right up on fucking Patreon. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Get on that. Gotta call someone who knows someone.
Yeah. Well, I know someone. It's,
yeah.
Let's say. What were we talking about? Oh, Shane Douglas stories.
Yeah.
There was a time Raven was wrestling. Apologize if I told this story. Raven was wrestling Shane Douglas at this club called Kahuna. Hold on. Fucking,
that was weak. It wasn't close enough to the microphone. So
I know.
Where's your ass mic?
I totally forgot. I was so busy with these fucking lights.
Well, here, so everyone can hear. What the hell did I hit here? No, that didn't work. Sorry for all the delay. There we are.
Anticipation. Anticipation is making me gassy. Making me gassy.
The remix. Do you still have the diarrhea sound? Didn't you have that? Was that not you? The diarrhea?
Oh, yeah. No, I took that off my
Okay.
Gimmick.
I was like, where else was I hearing this from?
Can I load that mid fucking...
I don't know. That's a great... I don't think you can, honestly.
Diarrhea.
There you go. I got the idea.
Yeah, the Pepto-Bismol commercial.
Yes.
Raven was wrestling Shane Douglas at a club, our first and last time there, called Kahuna in Wilmington, Delaware, which is a shame. It was a fucking great club. And during the course of the match, they want me to do it, try to do a meanie salt on Shane. Shane would move. Shane was like, okay, you missed a meanie salt. Bump out. When you roll out of the ring, run under the ring. Go hide under the ring. I'm like, all right. He's like, and then after the match, I'll come pull you out and I'll give you a belly to belly and send the crowd home happy or whatever, because Raven was going to screw him or whatever. Mm-hmm. Sure. So during the course of the match, the spot comes, Shane's down. I run up the top rope, go to do the moonsault, miss it, because he rolls out of the way. I roll out of the ring, roll out of the ring, go underneath the ring as instructed. And fucking the rest of the match happens. Match finishes. Raven leaves. Stevie leaves. The whole crew leaves. And Shane starts cutting a promo on the mic. I'm like, oh my God, he forgot about me. I'm like, I'm underneath the ring.
That's fantastic.
So he's like, he's in the middle of the ring. So I'm on my stomach, on my back underneath the ring, and I'm start kicking the fucking ring like, hey, I'm underneath, and like, I don't know if you see the footage, like he's kind of like, he's like,
which event was this again?
What's that?
Which event was this again?
ECW at Kahuna Nightclub, Wilmington, Delaware. Had to be 95, 96.
Okay. Somebody look this up and find this footage.
So it was 95 because
You were still
Me
in,
and
like, the
Stevie
nest
were
at
raving.
that
It was
point,
me
right?
and Stevie were raving, and we were on the loop where we were introducing Nova into the mix.
Okay.
Like, he hadn't officially debuted with us on TV, but we're like introducing him at the house shows, and he's coming out to Pat Benatar's "Hit Me With Your Best Shot" and doing this superhero, over the top superhero gimmick. So I'm like kicking the fucking ring. I'm like, dude, I'm underneath here, and he fucking leaves. I'm like, fuck. I'm still under the ring. I'm like, and ring announcer goes, "Thank you for coming out to ECW." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, I peek my head out, and like, there's like. Do I wait for the? I kind of like snuck out and went back to the locker room. And I'm like, go up to Shane. I go, Shane, you forgot me. He goes, oh, I'm so sorry. It's a fucking rib. He purposely fucking. But I went up to him. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. You forgot. Like, it was my fault. Like, oh, sorry, brother.
See, that's a great rib. I'm not such a fan of the burning your thighs on the chair rib. I never liked those.
He was just giving me a hot seat. It wasn't that bad.
Okay, yeah, but no, I never liked any of, like, the destroying someone's stuff or, like, I never liked any of those. But a rib like that's awesome to me. That's just fun because it didn't hurt you, didn't do anything bad, right? But it's just it's such a rib on you. It just kind of crossed you up a bit. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, Raven smarted me up on the ride home. He's like, it was a rib. Because I felt like bad. I felt so bad. I thought as if I had messed something up.
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful.
Waiter.
Oh man. Well, hey, so that's it for Ask Meanie, and you're gonna have to record a new one soon, so we have more options.
I might just set up a mic and while I'm laying around. Dude, I was killing it last night. Oh,
I'm sure.
Post Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. Oh, that's what dreams are made of. Oh man. Well, this has been fun as always.
As always.
36 episodes in. This is crazy.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. It's abhorrent. Yeah. Oh, hey, while we're here, you know what I would love to talk about?
What?
I was like, are you frozen or are you just excited? And here we go. I would love to talk about wait a minute. I think it muted me when I went over to... Hold on, let's try this again. No, I'm not muted. Okay, it was Skype that muted, but we're not on Skype now. The Mind of the Meanie action figures by Cella Toys.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that just again a little bit here. I can't remember if we when we talked about this, if it was while we were recording or not. But just to say again, you can go, if you're outside the U.S., go to cellatoys.net and pick up the pre-order now. And JB Toys, at JB Toys 1 on Instagram, send him a DM if you're inside the U.S. He'll take care of you. Again, I believe I did mention in the beginning, we are actually, you can see us on the back of the card for the Nick Aldis figure, which is so cool. To be a part of that, just to be, represented on this whole other figure that, all these Nick Aldis fans are going to look at that and see exclusive Mind of the Meanie 2-pack. And they might go, what's a Mind of the Meanie? And they Google it and then hopefully they come join us every Monday, on the MLW Radio Network. Pick up those figures if you can. And one last time, Meanie, I think we need to just really encourage people to go. If you're listening to this on Monday when this drops, we encourage you, we implore you to please subscribe to our Patreon at the $5 or $7 level. Let me just say one other thing. If you're at the $5 level, go up to the $7 level. Do yourself a favor, because then you'll be locked in. You'll be able to do the Zoom, and you'll be able to do the phone calls for $2 extra. You'll be locked in there. Just pay that extra $2, It's $24 a year. Do yourself that favor so that you can get a little bit of everything. But otherwise, hey, you'll be grandfathered in at $5 and we'll be happy to have you there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so go now, do that, because we're going to be rolling out December 1st, our new tiers. There's going to be a lot of tiers December 1st. Yeah, so...
Tears for fears.
Yeah, Meanie, anything else you'd like to share with the class before we head out?
Another great episode. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs. That's why I love doing this. I love the interaction as well. A lot of good questions on Ask Meanie Anything. Really good questions. Yeah, man. Thank you all for being here. Hope you had a great holiday. It's a crazy time, but we're improvising and we're calling it on the fly. We're calling it in the ring, so to speak. But yeah, thank you for everybody who's here. We had a ton of people in the room.
Yeah, great turnout today.
Great turnout. And, I was thinking back to the early shows and like when, we're like, okay, here's our first episode. Let's see who catches it.
Yeah.
And here we are. We have this little community that's growing. And it's very cool. Like I said, there's so much content out there. The fact that people choose us is awesome. But, if you're listening today, hop on, the Patreon game and get locked in. Don't kick yourself the day after when you're like, I could have fucking done it.
Yeah.
It's $7. I spend more of that on a cup of coffee, at Starbucks or whatever.
Yeah.
But, hopefully we're entertaining. Hopefully we're holding up our end of the bargain.
I hope so.
I'd like to.
Some days I'm not sure if I am.
Yeah. You always wonder, if we're doing enough. We're always trying to improve and try to be better. Always wondering, are we doing the right thing? And the feedback's been really good and very cool. So as we wrap this shit show up, thank you so much. We're always trying to improve and do things hence I got these new lights here. Let me see for the Patreon folks. That's the light off.
We see it. It's looking good.
That's a little bit too hot right there.
And yeah, it's hot.
I try to have a little blue hue on me too. So trying to make it more than just a podcast. We try to make this an audio visual thing.
Yeah, and I will read this right here. Sean Jones just says, I'll actually drag it out so you can see himself on here. Sean Jones, I love this show because you guys deliver what you promise. I might be canceling my subscription to another pod group because they don't deliver on the prices they charge. So other pod group, whoever you are, get your act together. But no, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for not saying who the pod group was because I didn't read through your thing completely until I was just reading it live on the air. So I'm glad you didn't, because if it's
Ron
there,
Burgundy?
because if it's there, I'm going to read it. I'm glad that you feel that way, Sean. I'm glad that, that seems to be the feedback that we get. And I hope that people will continue to feel that way when we're charging more money for tiers. But again, the idea behind that, as we talked about before, is the more we charge, the more we can do. The more crazy ideas, if we look at something, oh, dude, that would be cool. Well, how much is it? It's gonna be like $400 for us to do. We go, oh, okay, yeah, we can't really rationalize. Well, when we're charging more on things, we can look at that and say, you know what? We do have that money in there. That money's sitting in the account. That's, we can afford to kind of, surprise you guys with other stuff. So that's really, we talked about all along. We pour everything back in to this. And one day, we're just keeping all this money aside because one day, when we can do live shows, this is the type of stuff that can afford for us to not have to do the show just in Philly. for us to be able to say, well, hey, why don't we do a show in, wherever, because look, thanks to our great patrons, we got enough to cover hotel. We have enough to cover travel. Like there are things, maybe rent a venue out. There are things that we're going to be able to do. And that's why we're raising the prices in anticipation for the world opening back up. If it never opens back up, then we'll just retire off of it. And that's it. No, but thank you all so much. We really do appreciate it. And we're excited for all those of you who are Patreon. We're excited to chat with you on Zoom tomorrow night. I guess we'll bring it home here. This has been great, Meanie. A lot of fun, and again, we hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. This is now it's the road to the holidays, and we're gonna have some fun holiday shows. I do want to say, make sure to follow us on social media at Mind of the Meanie. That's on Twitter. That's on Facebook. That's on Instagram. Cool little thing over at linktr.ee. That's Linktree, but it's linktr.ee/Mind of the Meanie. That is your one-stop shop for everything. We'll put a link on mindofthemeanie.com to get to that, which then has a link to mindofthemeanie.com. So it'll just be a never-ending journey. Around Robin. Yeah. So, but also follow us as individuals if you would be so kind. Do so. He is at Blue Meanie BWO. I'm at So Says Shernoff. All across the board. ProWrestlingTees.com/mindofthemeanie/Blue Meanie/So Says Shernoff. Do us a favor. Go to FITE TV if you haven't checked out alternative commentary yet. Go check that out in the archives of FITE TV. And please, if you haven't, check out So Says Shernoff on FITE TV from this month. It was an extended episode of, it was 41 minutes long. I had a great interview with Dr. Tom Pritchard. One of my favorite interviews I've ever had. That guy is he is a walking encyclopedia of wrestling and knowledge. So yeah, check all that out. Go check out the Meanie, cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And then again, YouTube, let's get to 1,000 before the holidays. That should really be the goal. 1,000 before the holidays. We're so close. We're 30 something away. Let's do it. It's youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie. And that's about all I have, Meanie. Anything else?
I'm good, man. I said my piece, and I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their day.
Yes, and we hope that you will all join us again next Monday and every Monday at 6 a.m. on the MLW Radio Network for another trip into the mind of the Meanie.
Blue World Order. The world of MLW Radio never stops.